Uh, all right, and I'm John Clement alongside my good friend George Stockberger. George, welcome into the broadcast booth once again. Been a couple days.
It has been, unfortunately, for the Pioneers. It's also been a couple days since they've gotten the win column. It's been a tough stretch for them, losing 9 of their last 10 now.
Well, they say you learn more from losing than you do from winning, and with any luck, those people are right. I'm not normally one of those pessimistic people, but I got to tell you, these 9 out of 10 is a rough start. We want to welcome everybody in here to the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607 302 8226. And George, let's start it off. The weight of the 9 out of 10 game losing streak is going to fall on Ben Terwilliger. Terwilliger, a Corning Painted Post high school kid out of Elmira. He's infielder and a pitcher from Maine. So we'll see what the kid from Maine can do. Another local kid coming into the lineup here.
Yeah, another local kid. 9 innings this year with 14 strikeouts. He's had a little bit of trouble with the walks, but he's kept that ERA at a nice solid 1.00. So again, not a bad start for the kid coming out of Maine.
Well, a kid who really has pitched one game, and we talk about it a lot. This lineup really still forming. But when you look at the 1, 2, and 3 in the pitching rotation, not a bad start. I mean, you look at Noah Rubino; he's been amazing. You look at Keegan Ernest, who went last night. He pitched 3-run baseball for 5 innings. In the major leagues, that's enough to get a win, George. And now tonight we come up with Ben Terwilliger. 1, 2, 3, solid down the board.
It has been. Again, it's been either one bad inning or where the offense just hasn't been able to keep up for the pitching to support them. So again, it's been a little bit tough, but again, hopefully tonight it's dried out a little bit, but rain has stopped, the lights are on, and hopefully that field holds up well.
There's something about the lights above Dunn Field that just feels a little bit majestic as you look down and you observe and see everything going on here. Of course, it's always a fun night at the ballpark when we come out here to historic Dunn Field. And George, we haven't had a chance to play here very much here as of late. The losses that you talk about, they've been coming away from homestand, and the last homestand didn't quite go as the Pioneers would have liked, but they finished it off strong with a win against Newark. Took 2 losses in the last 4 to Newark. But, there's players up there in Newark who have really put together some good games, and the Pioneers certainly aren't that far behind.
No, they're not. And you talk about the struggles that they've had on the road. They've been fairly decent at home. Again, they started the season with that 2-game winning streak against Geneva and Oneonta, where they got that 5-0 shutout to start the year. And again, they struggled on the road. They had 3 straight games on the road where, again, all losses. Then you have that tough 15-2 loss to Adirondack. Then you throw in that tough Stallions game where they lost 6-5. That was a late game that they lost at home. Again, they picked up that win in Newark the last time they were here, and hopefully they can keep a good ball going here at home.
Well, Saugerties, again, not going to be an easy task as they will take them on here tonight and again tomorrow. Hey, Georgia, 4:05 start tomorrow. So another early opportunity for the Pioneers to start a little earlier in the day, maybe change up the format and see what they can do with that. Always interesting when you adjust the time of day. Do you want to take a quick look, though? Austin Cole going to be pitching against him. 6'8", 205 pounds from Arizona Western. And without even looking at stats, that's an impressive presence on the mound. Then you look at the stats. He's 1-0 in 2 games played with a .77 ERA, 8 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 2 bases on balls. Pioneers sound like they're going to have their hands full here tonight.
Yeah, he's been an efficient guy. He's faced 24 guys this year and only given up 4 hits and 1 earned run, 1 walk. So, again, been very efficient, been very good for the Stallions early on.
However, that being said, you have to throw out there, too, it's early in the season. It's anything can happen at this point. You never know exactly what kind of player you've got until you're at least a few appearances in. So we may know what we have out of a Noah Rubino right now, whereas some of the other pitchers may still be getting settled. Before we keep going here, definitely going to want to get you guys down to Coach's Corner. Coach Matt Birch had a lot to say. We're going to send you down there, let you take a listen. We want to remind you, you're listening to the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, give them a call, 607-302-8226. Miller's Mowing, your source for great field conditions.
night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's played by Campbell's Corona Band.
All right. Well, George, we have another long-standing tradition here at Historic Dunn Field, where we certainly do know how to put on a show. Isn't that true?
That is absolutely true.
So as we wind down here in the Miller's Mowing pregame show, reminding you if your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226. George, we're going to get one last opportunity to take a gander here at everything coming up tonight. And I'll tell you, doesn't look like an easy start for the Pioneers. Nolan Hester going to lead things off, the second best batter on the team. And you look at these averages, you almost think they must have only played 1 or 2 games. Nolan Hester, 4 games, 6 started. Not sure how that's possible. However, 6 hits and 17 at-bats, 353.
That's pretty good.
You can't argue with the results, despite the interesting error there with 4 games
I
played,
think
but
that's
6
probably
started.
backwards.
So interesting. But, you look at the results, too. He scored 3 times. He's had 6 hits, 2 of them for doubles, 1 base on balls. I mean, not going to be an easy way to start out for the Pioneers.
No, you can't ask for anything better. When you look at their entire lineup, they got, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys hitting over 340 right now. So a little top heavy with a couple of those guys leading off there. But again, they get solid depth throughout. Most of those guys hitting at least 250 as we get the warm-up pitchers, and the pitcher slips on the mound. So again, a little wet out there.
It is definitely a little wet. And Terwilliger does play both infield and pitcher. So this will be an interesting approach again. We've seen him once.
Yep.
He's pitched very well in that outing. He's definitely going to have to come through big here, though. The Pioneers counting on this homestand to set things back right. They've got 2 games before a 2-day break, which in this summer is almost unheard of, George.
Yeah, it's tough, especially once you hit the middle of a season where you get a lot of those breaks. And again, especially playing so many games on the road, I'm sure will be welcome for a lot of those guys.
For sure, as the huge lineup notwithstanding, a lot of these guys are doing a lot of time out there in the field. So we will see what happens here, as that brings up the aforementioned Nolan Hester. Hester is a freshman out of, oh boy, I bet you can't guess where he's from there, George.
There's a bunch of these places, but we've seen a couple of those guys from. But why don't you let me know?
Woodford.
Yeah.
He's from Woodford.
One of many.
Woodford, a popular destination for the PGCBL here in the summer, seems to be at least 2 or 3 guys from there on every roster we faced this season as the first pitch is in there for a strike. As the Pioneers start out the right way, we've talked about it. They've gotten a lot out of the starting pitching. Seems to be the bigger issue is into the bullpen as he gets strike 2. Terwilliger wasting no time.
No, we've seen some of these guys get ahead pretty quickly, but these put away pitches that they really needed.
Oh, swing and a miss strike, as that will put Hester down 0 for 1. So excuse my earlier concern, as Prince Genther will head up, the third baseman. Genther coming in, he is I'm looking, here we go, Virginia Tech freshman. He'll be a left-hand. I have a left-handed bat as he steps into the right-handed batter's box.
Switch hitter.
So,
We'll go with
interesting.
As, switch hitter.
The roster certainly not always 100% accurate, but
nope.
Swing and a miss. 4 straight pitches for strikes here, George. And Genther batting .231 on the season here. 3 hits and 13 at-bats. Another swinging strike. Terwilliger, whew, may want to give up on that infielding. I'll tell you what. Certainly showing effectiveness here. The line, the pitch is, there's the first ball of the night. 5 consecutive strikes, George, to start off the night, and then he throws a ball. This is impressive.
Start. Yeah.
Terwilliger winds, comes down, and delivers with another swinging strike. He strikes out the first 2 in the batting order.
A little half-hearted swing there, almost like he tried to hold up, but went around. Maybe he was a little distracted. I get a very good smell that's coming in. You can smell the food here at Dunfield.
Oh, certainly can.
The ovens were off for a week or so, and now we're getting fired back up, and it smells pretty darn good up here now.
Well, another social outing there down the left field line. See a picnic going on.
There is a picnic.
Always a fun time if you're looking for a nice group outing. Bring your picnic to Dunfield. Wind up and pitch from Terwilliger. Bounces it up to home plate. So 1-0 the count. Cam Redding certainly looking very effective there behind the dish, managing to keep that ball in front of him. No real risk on that one, but he did have a little bit of an issue back a couple of nights ago. As now Terwilliger comes set, winds, and delivers. Fouled back. As that one hits the netting down below us there, George.
And we've mentioned the effectiveness that the catchers have had behind the plate. Very good pitch framing, very, very early on for them. Again, Redding doing an excellent job for the most part defensively.
Skrine 8 for 22 for a .364 batting average. He fouls off another one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, believe it or not, Ben Terwilliger 1 pitch away from 3 strikeouts through the top of the first. That would not be a horrible way to start this one, George.
It would not.
Terwilliger looking in. He comes set, winds, and delivers. Inside and a little bit high.
Little bit high. We've seen, for the put-away pitch, we've seen a lot of that high fastball early on from Terwilliger.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Our first Tioga Downs showdown. So we remind you, you too can be an all-star. Head on down, see Smash Mouth live at Tioga Downs Resort and Casino. The pitch hit towards the second baseman, scooped up there and thrown over by Rule. Pregame makes the catch. And boy, those are some new hats out there, George, looking pretty sharp as they go down 1, 2, 3. When we come back, the Pioneers will take their turn at the bat. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, and we're back here live from historic Dunfield. Want to thank everybody tuning in on Mixler.com and live on YouTube.com. Thank you for joining us all season long. George, what can you say about the top of the first?
I mean, again, an excellent start. You can't ask for anything better with those 2 strikeouts, swinging to start the game, and a nice, easy ground out to second.
Well, Jake Skrine, the catcher, finally getting into the squatting position. Took him a while to get suited up over there as he sees one warm-up pitch. I think the umpire might let him see one more, but it's certainly going to be rushed here for Jake Skrine, who had to get out here in the top half of the first. So umpire giving him a little extra time here. A little surprised at this, as we will turn our attention to the Pioneers. Andrew Sexton to come up. 5'11", $175, junior outfielder from Xavier. Andrew's .980 career fielding percentage at Xavier has been more than impressive, but after a short season his freshman year, Sexton played in 45 games as a sophomore and led the team with a .429 on-base percentage, George.
Yeah, again, one of those guys born out of Cincinnati, Ohio, went to Xavier. Couple Hall of Famers coming out of Xavier, Jim Bunning, Frank Robinson. Couple good
Frank
ones
Robinson, there's not a bad name
No.
to be associated with.
Nope, and as we get a little look at Cole out there on the mound, again, it's 6'8", big right-hander, bigger than Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's only 6'4", so we get Austin Cole tonight at 6'8". Got a little distinctive leg
You
kick
touched
there.
on it, so now I got to talk about the broken hand of the elite prospect down there.
Yeah,
So not a great start for Vlad Guerrero Jr., as Garrett Cole gave him a hard and high one up in on the hands. Hopefully he'll be all right. Sexton, the unique part about Sexton, he steps in as a left-handed batter, so it's a different look to start off in a bat here. The line, the pitch, outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Sexton also has not played at home yet. This will be his first experience hitting here at Dunn Field. So we adjust the camera a little bit, give you a little bit better view of that batter's box as it slid up. Swinging strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I got a typo in my notes. I have Sexton as 6'11". I don't think
That
that's
is
right.
not accurate. He is 5'11", actually, as a matter of fact.
Oh, 5'11", okay.
So
Not 6'1".
that one's connected on right towards the second baseman, takes a hop, and he gets him in time. Sexton grounds out for the first out of the inning. That will bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia, 5'10", $180, sophomore outfielder out of UMass Lowell. Love the way the announcer says that. Our announcer does a very, very good job over there. Now, here's something very unique, too, about the Pioneers lineup. I talked up a lot there in the first at bat about the left-handed bats. And you see, now tonight, 3 out of the first 5 batters are going to be left-handed hitters, George. Wind up
Rare.
pitch. Swing there for Mejia, 0-1. It is rare. You don't see that a whole heck of a lot.
You don't see it in the big leagues. You don't see it in the minors.
You certainly
you don't get to see it out here in Elmira.
Certainly will give pitchers a lot to think about coming into those at-bats, as that's fouled back, 0-2. And on that one, we're going to remind you to make the right decision.
And insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass.
Yeah, it says the bugs make their way back in again.
Not
You would think the rain kept them away, but nope. They're here.
so far.
They're making
0-2
their
the
visit.
count. 0-2 the count as the windup, the pitch, high, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out.
He a 3-sport athlete out of high school. Baseball, football, and track. And like you said, UMass Lowell.
Notched his first career collegiate hit against Binghamton University.
There you go.
The pitch is
Ooh.
outside just a little bit. Mejia, the knees had to be buckling on that one there, George.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, as Jeff Mejia looks to be the first base runner of the ball game. Again, the wind, the pitch from Austin Cole outside. That one a little bit more definitively. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2-1 count, George.
Good patience here. Again, that second ball, a little bit tough.
Little one.
A little tough.
A little tough to watch from up here. Can't hardly imagine standing in that batter's box. The wind and the pitch from Cole is high. Mejia will be the first base runner of the ball game. Doesn't record an official at bat, but he takes the first base. That brings up Preston Moore. Moore's been on a little bit of a tear as of late. 6'0", $185, freshman infielder from Samford College. That's Sam with an M.
Mm-hmm.
As Moore, we look at Well, two at bats basically.
How about position players? Stephen Rossi's hitting 1,000 right now. But
That's a misprint, as that one
Oh.
should have gone to Sexton, but hasn't been corrected quite yet by the PGCBL, as that one is knocked towards third, and the throw over. Rossi trying to beat it out, and he will make it to first on the fielder's choice. Good slide there by Mejia to be able to interrupt the throw, and that'll bring up Garrett Schultz. Schultz batting fourth here tonight. A little surprising. We've seen him quite a bit as a number 9 hitter.
hitting just 200 on the year. Got a couple doubles.
Schultz, a freshman to be at Xavier. So
Yeah.
another Xavier to be player anyway, fresh out of high school. Not a bad way to spend your senior summer. The pitch, low, 1-0. As again, Moore stands on first base. Have to see if he chooses to try to utilize his speed. Did a couple of times last night. Was not successful, as a couple of foul balls were unable to let him take that base, as that one's low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, I like the patience early, but Pioneers.
Definitely does help, as they're looking to get into some better counts. That's you see a lot of big swings early, as now sit with a 2-0 count. Runner on first. The wind, the pitch, inside, 3 balls, no strikes. And now Garrett Schultz could work his way onto first base as well and move a runner into scoring position. 3-0 the count. Austin Cole comes set. You wonder how much that height challenges him to throw down. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Yeah, we've seen a lot. There have been some larger pitchers. You think Randy Johnson off the top of your head when you're thinking tall pitchers?
I know it shouldn't, but the first thing that comes to mind there is the blown up bird.
Mm-hmm.
As that one's in there for a ball. 4 balls, and that will put runners on first and second. So another unofficial at bat, but that brings up Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman, 275 this year, does have 9 RBIs, has scored 5 himself. So has not been a bad kickoff to the season for Ruhlman.
Not too bad. A late addition to the lineup. 420 on base guy, so he can get on base fairly easily for the Pioneers.
The pitch, and way outside, 1-0. As he was a member of last year's team as well. See what he can do. As Ruhlman gets set. Just got what you meant with the late addition, as
Yep.
we had a lineup change about 3 minutes before we went on air, folks. The line, the pitch. I said that one
That's
caught
close.
the corner.
I mean, if that one's
Mejia
a strike,
took
then that one
Yeah,
from
I was
early.
just going to say, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on first and second.
And again, another lefty, as you mentioned.
As this is the third of the top 5. Ruhlman hits it right back towards the second baseman, takes an odd bounce, but it will be in time, as Ruhlman will be thrown out at first. And that does for the first inning. 0-0 in 1 complete. No hits on the board. We'll be right back here on Mixler.com. And with that, we are back as the Pioneers getting stretched out, and Terwilliger looking to replicate the success from the first inning, George.
Yeah, not a bad start. He only threw 3 balls, had 2 strikeouts to start out him, and an easy ground out. So again, not a bad start for Terwilliger. Keep him at At ERA below 1.
I'd love to keep it there for the rest of the game, as once again, that one thrown down by Redding way over into the shortstop on that.
He did bat in more warm-ups too, so something to keep an eye on.
Have to see, as that will bring up Tyler Kelder. Kelder batting .457 on the year, 16 hits and 35 at-bats, on-base percentage of .500. Doesn't get much better than that, George.
Nope.
As now Terwilliger.
He's got 3 home runs as well.
He does. I'm not sure you're going to hit any out of Dunn Field, but Terwilliger comes set. Works into his windup and delivers.
Ooh.
And missed somewhere.
Just a little bit. Guess a little bit high. That's what I'm going with.
We'll go with high. That'll work. The windup and the pitch to Kelder.
That one was inside.
Inside. 2-0. So after a really great start to the first, has not gone exactly the same here in the second.
Nope.
Pioneers.
Ooh,
ball 3, and yeah, I was going to say.
He's thrown as many balls in the bat as he did in the first inning.
As now, once again, Kelder with a very sharp eye. Terwilliger winds, deals, and that one's in there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Terwilliger really had good movement on his pitches there in the first. Got a bunch of big swings, as now he's going through the 4, 5, 6 part of the lineup. Swung on, popped up, and this one will be played by the right fielder and caught, as it took 5 pitches to get there, but Kelder goes down 0-1. Lafreri, excuse me.
Not hockey season yet, John.
I know. Lafreri coming up, as Dylan Lafreri heads up number 14. He is the right fielder here tonight. He's batting .250, 9 for 36. And George, since you touched on hockey season, excuse me, I got to talk about this hot new item down in the gift shop. That one hit up over the top of the booth here.
I didn't hear. I just heard it hit something.
Make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision. When you see the ball coming back and you don't hear it hit anything, you think it goes into the box or something. That got pretty close. That's the closest one I've seen come back to the box this year.
Definitely came right back up at us as the second pitch. That one is low, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown in Georgia. Before I was interrupted by the foul ball, I wanted to talk about this hot new item at the merchandise store.
Pretty cool.
Elmira Enforcers caps.
Yeah.
Ball caps. Gotta love it. Make sure you stop on down Dunn Field and pick yours up today. That one fouled off yet again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Cam Redding had no idea where that one was. Turned around and gave a shrug. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Terwilliger trying to power his way through the number 5 batter here. See what he can do as he winds, sets, and deals. Swinging strike as he gets his 3rd of the night. Not a start for Ben Terwilliger.
No, and again, he's attacking with that fastball high to get that put-away pitch, and it's working for him. They're biting.
Blake Crossing, the second baseman, heads up. Crossing,
not that good. Not bad good of a start.
He put out the final out on Mason Ruhlman there, was able to catch him. Crossing, of course, batting 154. Talk about 426. Fouls one off there. See what Crossing can do here as the junior at Dartmouth. So the beltway there of the elite, if you will. Dartmouth certainly has a reputation. As that one is in there for ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Vuvuzela has found its way back into the stands.
It certainly has.
I thought they left that at the World Cup. That was out in Africa, 6 or 8 years ago now?
A few. Made a return in South America not too long ago. 2 balls, 1 strike. As now Terwilliger looking to power his way through this outing. As I mentioned, those new ball caps looking pretty sweet down there on the Pioneers.
There's a lot of new hats out there.
There certainly are, as that one goes to 3-1. The Pioneers were wearing an all-white cap before today. Now a little bit of blue in there.
Yeah.
So the windup, the pitch, and high again. So Terwilliger issues his first walk, and that'll bring up E.J. Doskow. Doskow, on the early part of the season, has batted just $174, 4 hits in 23 at-bats. as he comes up with a runner on wearing number 43. Kind of a unique number there, George.
Yeah, you don't see 43 for anyone.
No, I can't.
Maybe a relief pitcher who's just making his major league debut.
I was just going to
That's
say, it
about
doesn't
it.
really come to mind at all.
Usually some hockey players who wear 43.
That's true.
Some defensemen, but not usually a hitter.
So $167 in 12 attempts with runners on base for Doskow. We'll see what he can do here. Takes ball one, as now the Pioneers trying to work their way through the top of the second. As I've said, the starting pitching has really been pretty efficient.
Again, outside was a couple walks as he fouls another one off. It's been pretty good.
Just the one base on balls. He's got 3 strikeouts already.
How about Dennis Eckerly for number 43?
Dennis Eckersley, it's not a bad choice.
It's a pretty good one.
Haven't seen a ton of those, though. Jabba Chamberlain, maybe? My brain is escaping me. Has that one in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That seems to ring a bell to me. Was Jabba Chamberlain 43 as well?
I don't know. I'm going on. Sporkle will tell us.
As now again, Terwilliger tries to get out of the inning. Runner on first. He comes set, winds, delivers, and swung on and fouled back. As once again, Pioneers pitching really doing well here in the early onset.
Yeah. Sporkle won't let me. Up there we go. We'll get those names for you.
As once again, coming back set is Terwilliger. He winds and deals. Cut on, hit to the third baseman, easily scooped up, thrown over to first, and in time, that gets us through the first 2 innings of play. And George, 0-0 still is the Pioneers coming up.
That's pretty good. Not good for me. Randy Wolf was number 43. It was a Phillies fan. I should have gotten that one.
Oh, there you go.
Should have gotten Randy Wolf. Not bad.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. And welcome back to the historic Dunn Field, as this will be the throwdown pitch. The Saugerties Stallions unable to muster anything here early, George.
No, again, it's been a pretty effective pitching to start out.
You like to see that from Terwilliger. Terwilliger, you don't often know what to expect when you see infielder slash pitcher.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, pleasantly surprised through 2 innings of his second outing. That'll bring up Cam Redding. Redding, a catcher and freshman from Willamette, Illinois, who attended New Trier High School before going to St. Louis University. This season, Redding coming in as a leadoff hitter has gone 1 for 3. So we'll see if he can keep that up here. That one is by the catcher, 1-0.
222 hitter on the year through 7 games, all starts.
The catching staff has really done a solid rotation through the catcher or DH role for the most part here in the first few games. Inside again, Redding has to spin out of the way. 2-0.
It's good that you can kind of rotate those guys through again. Usually you see a lot of those catchers. When you have a mainstay catcher, they usually get, when you're thinking about the big leagues, 120 to 140 starts. But it's good that you can mix them in some of these guys and still get them pretty consistent at bats with that DH.
Oh, there's 3-0. So very quickly, Cam Redding really with a magnificent eye here tonight. I gotta give credit here.
Well, again, Mahee and Schultz already walked, so we're telling them, take your pitches, take your time. Don't need to take the bat off the shoulder.
And like I said, that huge frame out there on the pitcher's mound has got to make it hard to make adjustments like that, as that one's in there for ball 4. So another walk.
The catcher checking there. He kind of turned around and was like, you sure?
Not sure the umpire could have been any more clear on that one as Nathan Berg comes up. Berg, a pitcher infielder as well. He's a freshman from Xavier. He's
again, a lot of Xavier guys.
Yeah, originally from Minnesota. So as we tap into those hockey playing roots, he was a quarterback for 3 seasons as well as earning 2 letters in ice hockey.
There you go. Future enforcer, maybe?
Possibly. The windup and the pitch in there for a strike. So it won't be 5 straight.
That'd be a nice little celebrity signing there if you get Berg out there on the ice.
Certainly would be.
You got Iceberg. There you go.
Berg 4 for 10 with runners on base this season, including 3 RBIs.
It's right there for you. I made a promotion for you.
Put the tee on. Put it up on the tee.
Yep.
As that one's in there, 1 ball, 1 strike. You know how Berg could get on the team, though? We just announced our pro placement camp.
There you go.
2 guys out of pro placement camp last year. Marco Novosel, the guy who scored the first goal and first hat trick in team history, as well as Darren Lambo, who had the first fight in team history. A lot of records set out of that pro placement camp. Big swing there.
They're 2 pretty solid pieces to the team when you think about Marco Novosel, the effect that he had on the team. And then, obviously, Darren the Van Man Lambo, a fan favorite who unfortunately couldn't play through the entire year. But, again, 2 guys that made their mark on the Enforcer season early.
Certainly did. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner still on first is Cam Redding, the catcher. The pitch fouled away there. And I almost wonder if he caught that on the back swing. That one looked like it
kicked off something.
Came back around, and he hit it when he swung all the way through. So another attempt here coming for Austin Cole. Cole has certainly had his struggles here out of the gate, and we talked about his numbers. They're impressive. Maybe not dealing well with the wet atmosphere here at Dunn Field today.
Maybe. I mean, we saw Terwilliger slip on the dirt when he was going through his warm-up pitches. They didn't touch up the mound or anything like that after he slipped. So,
well, if he slips and has an inning like he had in the first, I'm all for watching him slip a couple more times. A beautiful inning, as that one's connected on, driven down the line, and just foul. As the Pioneers will look to again be the first one on the run or hit column at this point. No hits in the game, as we are in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So both pitchers really doing a job. Unfortunately for Austin Cole, he's walked a number of batters, George. Now, once again, Cole winds, deals, and connected on, driven out towards the shortstop. Cam Redding hustling down to second, and he's going to keep the throw from coming. I'll tell you what, the base running for the Pioneers here tonight has been something to watch as Berg reaches on a fielder's choice yet again.
It is. You think about what's unofficially called the Utley rule, where sliding into the guy at second base on a double play attempt doesn't really work anymore in the big leagues. But again, not too hard of a slide, but it's breaking up a double play at least.
For sure. That brings up, of course, the number 4 ranked first baseman in the country, freshman Trey Harmon out of Kentucky. Harmon changing up the bat yet again. It's a little bit blacker this time. Pitch connected on right down towards the third baseman. Hustling to get to second was Berg, and broken up in time was Trey Harmon to reach base. Again, we'll reach on a fielder's choice.
We're piling on with fielder's choices early, John.
Certainly are, as Brennan Derigi, the 9th batter in the lineup, comes up here in just the 2nd inning. So the Pioneers, though they haven't had a hit, though they haven't put a runner in scoring position, have certainly added on and put people onto the base pass. And excuse me, I lied. I do believe back in the first there was a runner on second. So my apologies. As once again, Derigi will come up and batting out of which side of the box there, George?
On the left side.
Left side again.
And stacking the lefties against the righty Cole.
The pitch, as that's fouled away. No ball, 1 strike. And again, Trey Harmon sits on first base. Harmon, not one you're going to catch doing a lot of steals here, but certainly can move once the ball is hit. We've seen him come around first to home on a double a couple of times here. Pitch is inside, 1-1 Here in the bottom of the second, the Pioneers trying to keep things going. As again, Austin Cole comes set on the mound. You see him hunch over, and that's a big hunch.
That is.
It's
like he's sitting on a box out there.
Certainly does, as he releases, connected on right back towards the pitcher, has some trouble fielding it, slips, and Derigi trying to get there, hops to the first baseman, and what a scoop. Great play there by the first baseman to get Derigi, and that will do it for the second inning of play. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on Mixlr.com. All right, and with that, we are back. Another inning to be faced here by Ben Terwilliger. And I'll tell you what, this is the way you want to start a ball game, George.
Absolutely. 3 strikeouts through the first 2 innings for Terwilliger.
It does bring up Ledford up to the plate area as Noah Ledford batting $188 this season.
Another late addition.
Very late. 6 for 32. Clearly not added for his hitting streak.
No.
As that one, big swing from Ledford. Quick to commit. A little surprising there, George.
Yeah, but we saw them attacking Terwilliger early on. That's where we saw those 2 strikeouts to start the game.
That one's connected on. Hit out towards the right fielder, and easy grab, can of corn, as Ledford goes down 0 for 1. That'll bring up the number 9 batter, Max Cotier, as he heads into the box.
Back into the Canadian names. No, not from Canada.
No,
like one of your Pioneers.
$188, 6 for 32. Those out of those 6, though, does have a double. Drove in 2 RBIs. As Cotier, actually from New Milford, Connecticut, freshman at Virginia. The windup from Terwilliger. Ball 1, as the umpire took a second before calling that one. Held me up just a little bit. As Terwilliger comes set, he winds and deals. Hit up right next to our booth, George.
Yeah.
And we remind you again to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision. And again, I parked fairly close to the stadium today with the rain coming in. So
I keep telling you.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown. The windup and pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As Terwilliger tries to move his way through the top of the third. I believe last time we saw Cotier, we did comment on that that helmet, George, and
fairly large.
on such a small person.
Yep.
Cotier, excuse me, standing in there, 6 foot, 165 pounds, according to what we've got here.
That's with the helmet and the cleats and the bat. Not a big guy out there.
The pitch, as that's in there for ball 4. So Terwilliger walks just the second batter of the game, and that'll bring up Nolan Hester. We talked about Hester earlier on.
Yeah, and when you look at Cody, again, pitch inside, the helmet that big, had to lean back, almost topple over there, big helmet.
And I think 6 foot's a little generous as well. As
Yeah,
I
I
look
think
down.
it's yeah, little generous there.
As now we've got 1 out.
I also have to do a little Michael Jackson. Is that Michael Jackson where you do the lean back
Lean
and then
back and
yep,
come all the way forward.
yep, that's what he had to do.
The pitch is fouled back on 1.
Coming back this way.
Certainly are. A lot more traffic coming back towards the booth here tonight, George. As
Again, they're
0-1
supposed to go that way, not this way towards us, out into the field.
Well, actually, with Saugerties, we really don't mind the balls
Oh, that's
coming
true.
back this way. As Pioneers, we'd love to get a few more hits out there into the field. That one's fouled off, 0-2.
Under the feet of a coach out there.
As again, Terwilliger, very effective. You look at the first trip through the lineup, 2 base on balls, 3 strikeouts. Say if you would have told Ben Terwilliger before the game, that would be his first trip through the order. I'm pretty sure he would have gladly accepted that. The wind up, the pitch popped up here, and this should be an opportunity
Oh, nice catch.
as he makes the catch, and that will put out Nolan Hester. He goes down 0-2 on the night, and Fritz Genther will come up. Cam Redding with the moves.
A nice little running basket catch heading towards the seats. Probably about 2 feet away from the seats.
Is now Genther coming up. Another awe-inspiring helmet, if you will.
Yeah.
These are some
You got some
large
fancy helmets.
It's a little bit. I don't want to say confusing. I understand the objective is to protect the head and the mouth because you see the big jutting piece out in front of the jaw. It's just very rare to see, especially at this level. As the throw over is not in time, Derigi was waiting and ready.
And we talked about the guys with those base guards like the Jason Haywards. Reese Hoskins once had the double one when he had that foul ball off his chin.
The pitch, runner is going. Cam Redding manages to keep the ball in front of him, but that will move Cotier up base on balls and a stolen base. As having a hard time speaking here tonight. Not sure what a base on balls would be there, George, but a ball nonetheless. As now Fritz Genther has a runner in scoring position. And so far this season, when he has that situation, Genther is 0 for 5. So 2 balls against him now. See if he can do anything with the 2-ball, no strike count. The pitch. Fouled back in towards the cars, George, as we once again remind you to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And autoglass. Autoglass perhaps being the more important part if the foul balls continue to rain. Earlier we had some rain of weather. Now we're having some rain of foul balls. The pitch. Terwilliger gets strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another Tioga Downs showdown. And George, have you been down to Tioga Downs' beautiful new hotel yet?
Still not yet.
I'll tell you, it's a sight to see. Not only can you play, you can also stay. Tioga Downs, hotel and casino.
And sportsbook now.
Sportsbook now, that is true. Terwilliger with the wind up the pitch. And struck out. That was a delayed reaction from the umpire. Redding threw the ball and ran back towards the dugout as Genther strikes out for a second time here tonight. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on Mixler.com. We are back live as a little bit of slow
board op
comeback
work.
there. The board, our freshman board op here from
Hey,
Penn
I
State.
have board opped many games. Many games. More games than I'd like to remember.
As that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Andrew Sexton. Sexton 0 for 1 on the night.
A lot of those ground outs to second.
Certainly put some bat on the ball in the first at bat, but just was unable to reach base safely. Sexton certainly has some speed, though, George. We got to give him that. Right down the line. As we're here in the bottom of the third, Pioneers really working through here. Terwilliger's been efficient as taking ball 1. 1-0 the count. As I said, Terwilliger beyond efficient. As you look back at the numbers, he's had 4 strikeouts on the night. Big swing there as Sexton goes to 1-1.
Yeah, it's usually been the start of the games have been pretty strong for the Pioneers, but it's the middle late where they kind of slip off, regardless if it's the starter or the reliever.
As that moves it to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fortunately, you've seen that a couple times with Rubino, who's had some excellent starts, and then the weather or the pitch count just kind of gets in the way.
And that's a strikeout there. So 0-2 goes Sexton with his first strikeout of the night. That brings up Jeff Mejia. Mejia, who has no official at bat yet, just a base on balls.
First official base runner of the game, I believe.
He was. As Terwilliger certainly powered through that first half inning. Hopefully he can continue to do so as he's through 3 already. He's pitched a third of a game.
Interesting. The third baseman's the only guy playing in.
The pitch. Mejia with a swing. Mejia not normally one to think about laying down the bunt for a hit.
Yeah.
Certainly has the speed to do so.
Still no hits for either side as the rain picks up.
As that one inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And George, that leads us to another Tioga Down showdown.
Yeah. But again, they just got their sportsbook license.
So that can be a fun spot.
Yeah.
The wind, the pitch, and fouled back by Mejia.
You felt that one.
Certainly
it hit
did.
below us. You could feel that one shake the entire booth.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Yep. Only driven by Tioga Downs on the highway out there. Still not have been out there over in Nichols.
Certainly have to make a stop. It's a fun little resort. Has the pitch inside, way inside. That hit midway point of the batter's box. As now we're at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mejia is certainly someone who can work a count. We've seen him do that quite a bit here. The wind, the pitch from Cole. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that's why this is a pitcher who would have a hard time dealing with a Trevor Henneman who creeps into that low stance and a Bagwell-esque stance, and he has to adjust himself to that because, as you see, he's always having to move downhill. Randy Johnson, the one thing you would see with him, as time went on, he would stretch his front leg further. And you see, as that one's popped up to shallow left, that's going to get down, and that'll be the first hit of the ball game. Gets by the fielder and picked right up, and just well seen base running there by Mejia to stay at first instead of trying to stretch it for the double.
Now a bloop single out there in the left field, but kind of landed in no man's land between the left fielder and the shortstop. It took a weird bounce off that wet grass and kind of trickled away on the left field. And you'd like to see a guy over on second. But, again, not very heads-up base running.
As I finish my previous thought, Cole, you see the leg as far out as the kick goes. He's still not getting down quite as far as Johnson did later on in his career, and you wonder if pitching coaches have discussions with him about that. As he throws over, that's a lot of body to move around and throw over. It's going to be a little bit tipped off every time for sure.
There's a lot of hair there, too.
There is a lot of hair there. As
he's going for that Johnson look. Just needs the stash.
As now, and we'll watch definitively here with the leg kick. It stretches out far. As that one gets by that, we'll put Mejia on second for sure. And with the far back backstop here in Dunfield, it almost run for days.
Again, you'd like to see him on third now, where a fly ball would be able to score him and give you a lead.
For sure. We talked earlier, though, Preston Moore, he has been effective So far tonight, 0 for 1 on the fielder's choice. But the Pioneers do have the first hit of the ball game. So, once again, Moore looking out. You hear the crowd certainly getting behind Preston Moore. The line, the pitch, bounces again, and there goes Mejia to third. So, Mejia takes a round around third. Now they're going to play that one down, and they'll throw the ball back to Austin Cole, and the Pioneers are 90 feet from tallying the first run of the ball game here in the bottom of the third, George.
Yeah, the Stallions are just kind of handing this to them right now. Again, any ball that gets put in play should score this run as the middle infielders play back and the corners start to play in. First baseman all the way up the grass.
You see that as the third baseman still hanging back a little bit. Has to keep a watch on that runner on third. The pitch hit there by Moore, grounded to the shortstop. This is going to score the run as it's thrown over to first and in time. But Jeff Mejia comes around to score as Preston Moore. Would you call that a ground out, George, or would you call that a sacrifice? As we get
That's
that
a ground out.
beautiful siren.
Yeah, no, it's a ground out.
So the ground out to the shortstop.
Nice little 6-3 RBI ground out.
Take it for sure as Garrett Schultz comes up for his first official at bat. Had the base on balls back in his first trip. The line, the pitch, out. No, says that one caught the corner.
We talked about the paint job of the base. I think that's helped.
Certainly
Strike
has.
zone on that side of it.
As once again, the Pioneers with one hit in this inning. Now that one's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pioneers have a hit. They also have a run. As the only hit of the game, Jeff Mejia came around to score there. The pitch. Outside yet again. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pioneers leading 1-0. Haven't allowed a hit on the other side of the board. And when Saugerties Stallions come back up, it'll be the top of the 4th inning, George. The line, the pitch, connected on there. Trying to run it out is Schultz. Shortstop gets there, throws over, and the catch is made by the first baseman. Schultz will go 0 for 1 on the ground out. When we come back, the Pioneers will go back to the field and try to continue building on this lead as they send it back out, and hopefully we'll be able to see some more stellar defense. We'll be right back here on Mixler.com. One. Hello and welcome back in here live from historic Dunn Field. I'm John Clement alongside George Stockberger. George, through 3, the Pioneers 1-0. Certainly the right start, but we talked a lot about it here early on in the pregame show. Pioneers need to find a way to continue building leads and hold on to them.
Yeah, again, 1 run won't be enough. As we saw last time, we saw the Stallions. They put up 6 and had that late comeback. So again, no lead is too safe out here in this league where we've seen teams put up 15 runs in one game.
For sure.
Again, we need to continue to support Terwilliger, who's been to a fantastic start as he
gets a swinging strike there to start off the 4th. Skrine up 0 for 1. Had the ground out back in the first inning to end it.
A little bit of pop behind that first pitch.
looking to put it out there in the river. Wind up in the pitch again. That one
Ooh. I thought he dropped in a nice low curve or something, but
looked to be right over the dish. Must have been a little bit high. A little hard to gauge from our perspective up here.
we're very high up.
As the windup and the pitch. Ooh, connected on out towards deep left field and chasing it down. Getting there. Wow, what a run for Jeff Mejia. That one wasn't an easy. Had to really put a motor behind that there, George.
That's a long F7 with his back almost to the Jubilee sign out there in left field. That's the longer fly balls you'll see here at Dunfield without it going out.
Certainly is.
I think on a warmer, if we're playing in the middle of a day like tomorrow, that one might be gone.
We'll have to see. Tyler Kelder makes his way to the dish. 0 for 1 tonight. 0 for 1 a lot tonight as the Saugerties Stallions come back up. That's a swinging strike number 1. There's something that they're seeing. It clearly hasn't been accurate yet, but there's something that they're seeing about Terwilliger that they feel like they got to get off to that quick start to jump on his pitches. Again, connected out towards left field. That one's going to get down and will be Saugerties' first hit of the ball game. Kelder rounds, heads for second, and he will get a stand-up double. Kelder 1 for 2 on the day, and that'll bring up Dylan LaFreri. LaFreri, 0 for 1, has a strikeout here tonight, but right now has a runner on second base, George. And the Pioneers, when they have gotten a runner or have gotten a run the inning before, not so great with the runners in scoring position, as LaFreri is batting .273 in 11 at bats. He's driven in 5.
Yeah, first time tonight we've seen 2 pretty hard hit balls. Yeah, that long fly out and a good doubles. That's a long foul ball that'll go out into the bullpen.
So Terwilliger, as there's that glass shattering sound that we love to talk about.
Yeah.
0-1 count.
As long as it's not the glass in my car, then I'll have to go to Gerber Collision and auto glass.
Of course. As again, Terwilliger coming set, having to work out of the stretch, something he hasn't had to do a heck of a lot here tonight, George. That one gets by all the way back to the backstop, and that will move the runner to third. So very similar, almost eerily similar to what we saw earlier, as he now has a 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out count, another Tioga Downs showdown.
Yeah.
Terwilliger going to have to play some immaculate defense here. The first baseman there on the infield grass, second and short, will move back towards the outfield grass, trying to play a little bit of preventative defense. The wind, the pitch, connected right back towards the booth. And hopefully everyone's
Again, I didn't hear it hit anything, so that's hopefully a good sign.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, Terwilliger comes set. He winds, delivers. Big swinging strike on a ball that was very high. You could tell from up here, George.
I was about I leveled that pitch, and again, that's been his put away pitch tonight. That high fastball out of the strike zone.
So the second strikeout of the night for the second batter in the lineup, as LaFreri goes down. Blake Crossing comes up, no official at bats, base on balls in his first trip. As now Terwilliger will be looking to get an out here any way he can. Big swing again. 0-1. I said it before, George. They're really feeling like they got to jump on that first pitch.
They're attacking early, and again, he's working them well inside, and then again, those high pitches for the put-away pitch.
That one's in there for strike 2. That one might have been the best pitch that he was going to see in this at-bat here. Is Crossing now 0-2. I'm confused. Scoreboard up there, 1-1.
No, it's 0-2.
Okay. And that one's fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As once again, now they're fixing the count. There we go. All right. So the umpire held it up for a second as Terwilliger comes set, winds, deals, and low. As Cam Redding had to make a goalie-style save, jumping on top of that one.
He's more passing him or Nick Nieder there?
Little
based
bit
on
of
the size.
With the size, you'd have to go with Nieder. That one in there wants to check. as they say no. So
a little hard to check from the field umpires behind the pitcher.
we've seen
Little
that quite a
tough.
bit here, but 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, another Tioga Downs showdown. Terwilliger trying to get himself out of the 4th. Ball 3. Terwilliger not loving that one. He thought he painted the corner. Now it's a full count. And again, we said it before, Crossing already walked here tonight. Now the windup and the pitch. High, ball 4. That'll send Crossing to first and EJ Doskow to the dish.
That was the first full count that Terwilliger has had. At least he's had a couple of walks, but that first full count of the game. And again, he tried to attack with that high fastball, and I think Crossing had the idea that one was going to be just a little bit outside.
Well, as EJ Doskow comes up, he is 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position and 2 out and has an RBI. Check over at the runner on first, as now the ball is thrown back. A little concerned when you're overly concerned about the runner on first with a runner on third, George.
Not good to be concerned about people being concerned.
Not good to be about. A lot of concern going on here.
Yeah.
That one's in there high. 1 ball, no strikes. Terwilliger looking a little rattled here in the top of the 4th inning.
Again, the pitchers for Elmira have always had pretty strong starts for the most part. It's just the middle of the game that we're starting to hit right now where they've fallen apart.
And usually Matt Birch with a short leash after the 4th inning. 5th, 6th innings don't get a lot of extra leash as this one is popped up towards center, and this should be easy. It will be. Can of corn out there to center field. Doskow going down 0 for 2 on the night. So runners at first and third don't add up to a heck of a lot. Both sides have a hit. Only one side, your Pioneers, have a run. We'll be right back here on Mixler.com. All right, Finns, the Pioneers are headed back to the batter's box, and we'll have to see as Mason Ruhlman going to be the next man up, George.
Yeah, Ruhlman again, we talked about the late addition to the lineup, 0 for 1. One of those many groundouts to second that we've had here tonight.
Well, second base on both sides of the chain have been a fairly busy position here tonight.
When you look at on the muddy dirt, a lot of footprints out there.
A lot
at
of
second
movement
base.
at second, not so much over at short.
No.
Ruhlman, who is in fact the second baseman for the Pioneers as well. The line, the pitch, and
A bit low.
little low, 1-0. Ruhlman, who has shown even from last year, very good poise, has a good eye up at the plate. But the one knock on Ruhlman as he connects on this one, hits it out towards right field. Still going back, and off the wall. Ruhlman around second. He's headed for third, trying to beat it out as the throw comes in as high, and he is safe. Mason Ruhlman with a triple as Ruhlman got in under the bag. And whoa, boy.
That was pretty close. He overthrew the cutoff man. The shortstop ended up coming in, grabbing that one, and I thought made a really good throw to third. I thought he was a dead tuck over there at third base. The manager for the Stallions is out there arguing, but we look like we have a leadoff triple here.
Unbelievable by Mason Ruhlman. He ran through the stop sign at second base, I'll tell you what. Matt Birch was literally on the ground with Ruhlman to tell him to get down. As the manager for the Stallions, Stallions. Not sure what that would even be. As the manager continues to have an argument with the umpire, and the chant from the crowd is "Throw him out! Throw him out!" I don't think we've seen that yet this year.
No,
George.
we have not. He's gonna walk off on his own accord again. I thought he was
a little close to third base for my liking. I don't want him that close to Mason Ruhlman. But
it was it was a bang
play.
I didn't think it was that close, but okay, we'll take it.
Cam Redding will head up. No official at bats, has a base on balls, and here we see that defense. No, hold on. They're going to move him back.
Okay, maybe concede the run for me out at this point. Only the third triple of the year for the Pioneers.
Very, very satisfying, that's for sure.
Yep. Again, off the bottom of the right field wall.
Redding comes set. He waits, takes ball 1-0. Redding would love to see another ball skip back to the backstop. Yeah. 2 hits on the night now for the Pioneers. As Mejia came around to score off of his hit, Ruhlman certainly hoping to do exactly the same thing. The pitch. In there for a strike. 1-1 to count.
Mejia got some help. 2 wild pitches kind of brought him around.
Certainly did.
After that base hit out to left field.
Could have been a double, but
could have been a double. Should have been a double. Doesn't matter. He scored.
As the windup, the pitch, and Redding fouls one back. 1 ball out. Pioneers with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Still nobody out, and now you'll see the infield pinch in.
Both those middle infielders now in on the grass, toes on the grass.
As now they play this defensive style. Little bloop would
be excellent.
Draw the pitch, and that one fouled back again. So 1 ball, 2 count, or 1 ball, 2 strike count remains as Cam Redding back in there. Redding on the season has had just 1 RBI. Would love to tally another one. The wind, the pitch, connected on there by Redding, hit right to the shortstop, or excuse me, the second baseman. As, again, we talk about it, it's been a busy position here tonight.
It certainly has, and, again, playing that far in, again, toes on the grass, you have absolutely 0 time to react with just a beautiful play going over to his left there of a second baseman.
Yep, that's Blake Crossing out there. Has not been as effective at the dish. Does have 2 walks. Hasn't been able to put his bat on the ball.
Hey, but if you can make plays like that, you're valuable here.
For sure. As this again, Nathan Berg. He takes a strike there. The umpire giving a lot of space to the outside corner.
Just a little bit.
As Berg playing shortstop here tonight, 0 for 1 on a fielder's choice. Anything out of the infield is going to score that run. That one is high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown. Reminder to stop by Tioga Downs any day of the week. Try out their buffet. Delicious assortment of foods.
Berg and 500 with runners in scoring position on the year.
As that one is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a little similar there to that first pitch that got called a strike on my eyes, George. Yep. As Berg, once again, going to be looking. Ruhlman still standing at third. You heard as the pitch is delivered and high, 3 balls, 1 strike. Was going to reference the coach's corner in the pregame show. If you listened in on Mixler.com, you heard head coach Matt Birch talk about needing to execute with runners in scoring position so many times the other night in that extra inning game where they had a runner on third, runner on second, less than 2 outs. The runner has to score. Swinging strike, 3-2 the count. We're now full, and Matt Birch's own words right here. You have to score. As we'll see what can do here. As coming back set, Austin Cole. He winds, delivers, and that one is swung on, and that's going to be a strikeout. We're running down to first. They're going to hold the runner at third. The strikeout will not count, and Nathan Berg reaches on a passed ball. So 0 for 2, but still reaches. So interesting at bats.
Usually, it's very rare to see a guy go 0 for 2, but get on base both
twice.
times.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. As now the manager going to come out and have a talk with his hurlers.
No one up on the in the bullpen yet. That's
You certainly don't want to give Trey Harmon a long leash.
No.
As runners at the corners, you would have to assume Nathan Berg will be off and running on the first pitch.
You would hope, or you would think. Interesting. Again, Rollman over at third. We talked about how much room there is behind the plate.
Mhm.
He didn't come. He didn't even really make an attempt in the field. The pitcher did a good job coming in to field home plate. I'd like to see a little bit more aggressive base running overall for the Pioneers. We saw earlier with that bloop single that got away in left field where Mejia didn't advance to second. So again, some questionable base running early for the Pioneers.
Well, as we said, Trey Harmon stepping in, the number 4 first base prospect in America. As I just said, Nathan Berg should be off and running for second base here just to get the throwdown to bring in Ruhlman.
Nice little double steal.
Not only to say that, Berg is quite a speedy runner anyway, so you would expect him to be off and running here no matter what the situation. All the fielders pulled off of that infield now. Playing double play depth, of course. Want to scratch that as the pitch swung on by Harmon. And again, Berg scrambling back to first.
Yep. He's not taking that big of a lead either.
He's not. I got to be honest with you, George. I'm very confused at the strategy here.
I mean, and the middle infielders aren't playing super close to that second base bag. Second baseman crossing, maybe inching a little bit closer as the pitch comes in.
The line, the pitch hits Harmon. Harmon will go down, and now the opportunity to do anything like that will be taken away as Harmon trots. Actually, he takes a very slow and deliberate walk down to first base.
Off that shoulder.
Well, luckily designated hitting tonight. Harmon is a hurler as well, so luckily that'll hit the left arm, but still, he's stretching it out down there. He does not look comfortable. As that'll bring up Brennan Derigi. Derigi, the 9th batter in the order. He's 0 for 1 right now. Runners on every base. Runner on second reached after striking out, but again, the attempt to cover the plate. And then Trey Harmon gets hit by a pitch. That one in there low, 1-0.
First time up there with the bases loaded for Derigi. Not great numbers with runners on base. Hitting 143 with an RBI.
And you hear the crowd really coming to life here.
You need to get at least one here.
In there for 2 balls. 2 balls, no strikes. Only 1 out. Anything but a double play. That's what Pioneers fans are hoping for here.
Right now, infield's playing back for the most part, but corner guys are kind of holding the runners on, and the outfield playing maybe a little bit in.
I would call it double play depth. I firmly believe that's the setup here. That one is in again. 3 balls, no strikes.
We'll just take the bases loaded walk. As now number 35 is going out to the bullpen for the Stallions.
So as the Stallions send someone out towards the pen,
that is a righty.
It is. As the Pioneers wait. Chopped on towards the shortstop, takes a weird bounce over the head. Everybody's safe, and Mason Ruhlman comes across. So that's got to be a reach on error, I would assume. It was poorly fielded by the shortstop. Derigi's going to get the RBI, but I believe he's going to reach on an error.
It's a tough one because, again, we talked about the field conditions with how much rain that we had earlier.
Waiting for the official score to go up as Andrew Sexton heads back up. No hit, no error put up on either side yet as we await the official ruling.
He's heavily debating over there.
They gave him the hit.
Gave a hit. Again, it's a tough play.
As that one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
0 for 2 early is Sexton.
Does have a strikeout here tonight.
He does.
Pioneers have now put up runs in back-to-back innings, something they have done. I talked about it in the pregame show, George. That one connected on, driven down the line, and foul. So 0-2 goes the count.
Goes into the bullpen.
But we talked about in the pregame show, George, the Pioneers score in bunches. They hit in bunches, and then they got to find a way to the game. We joked about it back in the first 2 games of the year. The countdown was on to the final out. It's not been an easy road for them to get to that final out any other game of the year. Wasn't exactly easy the first 2 games of the year either.
With the exception of that first one with a 5-0 shutout, as A pitch low and inside for first ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes against Sexton.
Yeah, with the exception of that second game, it's been tough.
Certainly has. As now Sexton waits. The wind, the pitch, connected on by Sexton, caught by the third baseman, and doubled him up. He did a,
Unassisted double play over at third.
Unassisted double play by the fifth batter. Fifth batter. Wow. The fifth, number 5. So, Pioneers 2, Stallions 0 as we end the fourth. We'll be right back with more Pioneers baseball here on Mixed.com. All right, and we are back here live. Terwilliger back on the mound yet again. And who could blame him? I mean, wow. So Nolan Ledford, 0 for 1 on the night. See what he can do. Big swing and a miss again.
They're swinging hard early and often.
Well, first of all, let's just call it like it is, George. It's hard to hit a home run out of done field, as every one of these guys seem to be trying to do. Another big swing. And 2.
Keep doing what you're doing at this point. I mean, it's working.
For Terwilliger, yes, but for the Stallions, you would think this pitch in there for a strikeout. Yeah. So 0 for 2 goes Ledford. And again, you would have to think you've seen this now almost twice through the order as Max Cotier comes up, has a base on balls and a stolen base. But I'll tell you what, there has to be a learning curve here at point. You have to go in and say, all right, perhaps this first pitch swinging is not working.
Yeah, you think you make some adjustments at this point in the game. As only have 1 hit as well.
Again, Cotier coming up towards the batter's box.
Yeah, watch those obliques with the swings like this.
As again, we'll see what Terwilliger can do here. The line, the pitch, and in there for a strike. 0-1.
None of those T-ball swings.
Nope. Certainly not looking for the fences on that one. We've joked briefly about Cotier's stature as he hits one there up through the middle, and that one gets out to center field. So Cotier goes 1 for 1. He's reached base in both appearances at the plate. Single and a base on balls.
You got Watchman, but stolen base the last time out.
As you don't want to give up any more bases here if you're Terwilliger. Here in the top of the 5th, again, we mentioned before, Matt Birch tends to keep a very short leash on his pitchers as we progress later and later into the ball game.
No one up in the pen yet, though.
So Terwilliger's inning for now.
And again, Matt Wright continues to warm up for the Stallions.
As Hester steps in. See what he can do.
Again, number 35 out there in the bullpen to our left.
Connor Fenlong, the freshman from Wabash Valley.
As the Bugs welcome themselves back in.
The line, the pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. So again, have to keep an eye on Cotier. Have to respect the speed. As once again, Cotier bounces around over there at first. A little bit different, as we'll talk about that in a second. In 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Tioga Downs showdown something you see from a lot of teams in this league is the bouncing around, the almost hyperactive
Yep.
once they get on base. Pioneers very calm, very professional, if you will. That one comes in. That one doesn't paint the corner. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Pioneers up 2-0. As George, we're here in the top of the 5th. Terwilliger can get through this. We'd be halfway through the game.
Yeah.
The pitch, runner's going, popped up and drops down in center. Codier really pushing himself around, as now we've got runners at the corners, and like a split in bowling, certainly not where the Pioneers want to be here in the top of the 5th.
But no, now you got Genther coming up. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so not a bad guy to have at the plate if you're the Pioneers.
Certainly not. Cam Redding will head out and have a conversation with his hurler. Again, this is a situation, though, where Hester, first batter in the order, might be looking at stealing. And if you dare to throw down, Cotier definitely has the speed to get going. So we will have to see what Redding decides to do here. He's going to have a conversation as Terwilliger looks set. And we look down yet again. Just want to take one more glimpse down there towards the pen. Still nobody moving around.
No. Again, he's worked well. He's got a handful of strikeouts already.
Terwilliger, again, having to work out of the stretch. Not something he's had to do a ton of here tonight. He looks in. Looks back to first, and back in time was Hester.
6 strikeouts to be exact for Terwilliger.
Baker's half dozen.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, another
actual
local
half
guy.
dozen, but as Terwilliger comes set, clearly looking for a ground ball here. As that one is popped up high,
Elevator shaft.
and the shortstop takes it all the way, makes the out. So Genther goes down 0 for 3. Doesn't continue his trend of striking out, however, as that'll bring up Jake Skrine. Skrine, the catcher, 0 for 2 so far on the night. Pioneers looking for an out in any manner here. Runners on first and third as Terwilliger tries to tiptoe through the tulips one more time. Don't like the Tiny Tim reference? I'm a fan of the Tiny Tim reference. As once again, runners in scoring position, 2 men out, George.
333 hitter with 6 RBIs with runners on base, so a dangerous batter up for the Stallions.
With runners in scoring position, 1 for 3. And that one was a home run. That one driven towards the shortstop. Bounces, tossed to second, and the out is made.
Way too close. A little lackadaisical throw to second there.
That was certainly dangerous as Skrine goes 0 for 3. The Pioneers keep the shutout intact, but the Saugerties Stallions have accomplished a couple more hits. So 3 hits aside, Pioneers after 4.5 lead 2-0. When we come back, the Pioneers will be batting. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. One. All right, and we are back here live from historic Dunn Field. A brand new pitcher for the Pioneers. To face the Pioneers as Connor Fenlong. He's 1-0, 2.70 ERA. He's got 3 games he's appeared in, pitched 10 full innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, 3 of them earned, 6 bases on balls, but 12 very important strikeouts for sure. So Jeff Mejia will head back to the dish. Certainly been on base quite a bit here.
He's the guy that kind of started it all for the scoring. Had that base hit and came around after 2 wild pitches and then came around to score on that fielder's choice.
Also had a base on balls back in the first. So Mejia has been good at getting on base, but with a new pitcher, that could certainly erase the streak, if you will. Another pitch coming in, and we'll see what the Stallions can do here.
The final line out there for Austin Cole, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. But 1 strikeout was the pass ball where the runner advanced over to first.
So, not a great toss there from the Stallions catcher either down to second base.
We've seen that tonight. Some tough throws from the catcher.
You know, I'm surprised we haven't seen a little more of those action on the base pass. You would think as you see those throws, people are going to be looking and checking and trying to make a difference with the on-base play, but we haven't seen that here tonight, George. Is that a little surprising?
I mean, again, we saw that 1 stolen base, but again, other than that, not too much movement out there on the base pads.
So Mejia looks to keep his perfect game going. The one, the pitch, and pulls back a faked bunt.
I'm at third baseman playing way back behind the bag.
Well, that will stop now.
He's still got the sunglasses in his hand. A little interesting. He's wearing the sunglasses.
Puts them back on his face.
Kind of, I don't know what he's doing. Trying to get the dirt off,
Shaking
but then
like
he's
an
shaking them.
Etch-a-sketch. Umpire giving the third baseman a little time here, I guess, as now he's put them back on his head, and that is in there. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Jeff Mejia.
I've never seen a guy this late at night with the lights on wearing the sunglasses.
Corey Hart?
Yeah, but he was an outfielder.
I was talking about the singer.
Oh.
He wears the sunglasses.
I thought you were talking about the former Brewers center fielder, Corey Hart.
2 balls, 1 strike. Gotta have some fun with it, George.
I got a baseball mind. You say Corey Hart, I say Milwaukee Brewers.
And I do believe he did wear his sunglasses at night a few times.
Did he? Okay.
The pitch in there. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, I was out there, as a matter of fact.
I remember the Corey Hart hair.
Oh, certainly. The on-again, off-again facial hair as well.
Yeah.
The one, the pitch, and out. No, they call it strike.
That's a pretty low and outside strike.
Very liberal outside corner, if you will.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many of these full counts. Mejia had one his last time out there before he had that hit. Out into left field.
The wind, the pitch. Mejia fouls it back into the stands, and
that's a screamer.
Freebie for a fan. As now, once again, Mejia will look down. He'd love to get another hit out there to the outfield, as the ball's certainly taken a few interesting bounces here tonight, George. The line, the pitch. Taken. No, Mejia's going to head to the base, back to the dugout, as he is struck out. That'll bring up Preston Moore. He's reached on a fielder's choice and driven in a run. He drove in Mejia just an inning ago. Some very excited fans out there. Not sure.
Well, we got the kids run. They're all down there with crispy bacon.
Oh, they're getting ready. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Preston Moore looking to delay the kids run a little bit here. The line, the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
Hey, they're all ready to go. The bouncy houses are both down, so they got some energy. Crispy Bacon got off the bullhorn too.
As the line, the pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown. George, go down to Tioga Downs for the best in table gaming and slots.
Yeah. And the chariot racing.
And chariot, I was saving that one, George. As that is inside. So the inside corner, not quite as liberal. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, again, the racing's the highlight.
It certainly
one
is.
of the many highlights, but the main highlight.
Sports betting now, too. You brought that up earlier. The line, the pitch is connected on and fouled away. And we want to remind you once again, make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber Collision and Autoglass.
And Autoglass. There you are. As once again, a little bit of a struggle out of the gate here for the new pitcher as Fenlong comes back set. certainly had to work very deep into counts here.
Oof.
As that one's in there for a
Nope.
ball. 3 balls.
Good little check swing there.
So, another full count.
There's a lot of kids down there. A couple of the mini Pionettes are also getting ready to participate, I think.
Oh, fun. The windup, the pitch is connected on down the third base line and foul. So, we resume the full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. Pioneers have scored in back-to-back innings again here tonight. Third and fourth. Crooked numbers up there.
Need a couple more runs, though.
Certainly
Get some insurance runs.
would never turn down any runs, as that one's inside and gets away from the catcher. That will work. Preston Moore down to first base. So he's reached on a fielder's choice. He's reached on a base on balls. And that brings up Garrett Schultz. Schultz 0 for 1, base on balls on his ledger as well. I'll tell you what, the Pioneers with some real good looks tonight. They're really paying attention in that batter's box.
He made 2 of those walks in that first inning. And even with a new pitcher on the mound, seeing the ball well.
As Fenlong comes set, he winds, delivers, throws low again, 1-0. Fenlong having to work out the stretch for the first time since entering the game, just 2 batters ago. We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Pioneers. Is it too early to start talking?
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As another Tioga Downs showdown. And now I'm going to bring up chariot races, George. As once again, the horse-drawn carriage racing down there at Tioga Downs Resort and Casino.
Chariot racing sounds so much cooler, though.
It does.
Sounds like gladiators.
I know. The wind, the pitch, connected on, driven out there to left field, and can of corn. As that will send the runner back to first and put 2 outs on the board. So not a bad attempt there by Garrett Schultz.
Yeah, good swing, and it wasn't an easy fly ball, kind of a quick sinking one that the left fielder got into quickly.
That'll bring up Rollman, 1 for 2, and we all remember what the 1 is.
Yeah,
Triple.
Very lucky triple. Again, to some eyes, it was not a triple. But if it wasn't by matter, it was.
As once again, Rollman waiting. The throw over to first and safe.
Those kids are itching to get out of the little pen over there.
So, again, Rollman coming set. He looks
Mosquitoes
in.
back.
The pitch, wind, deal, inside, way inside, as Roman had to duck out of the way there. 1-0.
The Mosquitoes lost.
It is.
Now he's.
As once again,
If it bites
pitcher
me,
heading-
it's your fault.
okay, 1-0 the count. Roman waiting. Takes a big hack at that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Big one.
As once again, Roman steps back into the batter's box. He waits on the pitch. Pitcher checks over it. The runner on first. The wind, the pitch. Roman hits it out towards the shortstop, and keeping his foot on the base just barely was the second baseman, as that'll do it for the 5th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, and welcome back in here live as the Pioneers are getting stretched out. The Pionettes are trying to help out a young fan who's running around the base path here.
Well, he's not really in the base path. He's in center field, John.
He is in center field and certainly exploring it as best he can.
He's taking his time. He wants to stay there.
He's enjoying the atmosphere as the Pionettes trying to aid him in getting
Trying to corral him.
around. As the manager for the Stallions having a conversation with the home plate umpire. Umpire pointed directly above his head.
Up, they picked up the kid, and they are up. No, he's back on the ground. Still going.
They were helping him around a little
Still
bit.
going. Now in foul territory.
As
Running
now,
the wrong way. He's going the wrong way. He tries to turn around, tried to go back to first base, and they pick him up. They are carrying him off the field.
as now in the top of the
Much like
sixth.
Rudy. Much like Rudy,
There you
carried
go.
off the field. And they now close the gate.
Tyler Kelder, the left fielder, 1 for 2. He's got a double on his ledger. The line, the pitch, in there for ball number 1. So Kelder leading off an inning here. A little different look when you lead off an inning, but he is 571 in 7 at bats. The pitch connected on right towards the third baseman, scooped up, thrown to first in time. Kelder will go 1 for 3 on the day so far.
And we've seen a lot of quick outs here, thanks to Terwilliger. There is a lefty starting to warm up in that bullpen for the Pioneers, number 7.
So another interesting maneuver as the Pioneers trying to figure out a bullpen combination that works. Connor Takis is the lefty warming up. As now again, this will bring up Dylan LaFreri. LaFreri 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts to his line today. He takes strike number 1 there.
And there's a righty warming up for the Stallions as well.
So action in both bullpens here in the top of the 6th. I said before, Matt Birch, that one flies over the top of the broadcasting booth. Make the right decision, George.
Insist on Gerber collision, and if you find that foul ball off the bat, we got Doc Emily as well.
Certainly do.
Making her way over from first arena.
Dylan LaFreri, 0-2 count here, trying to avoid the 3rd strikeout of the day. And he can't.
Nope.
As that one's in there swinging. 0 for 3 on the day, 3 strikeouts. And that's how Terwilliger would like it to go every time. Next up, though, Blake Crossing, the second baseman, has no official at-bats yet. 2 bases on balls in 2 appearances.
If I have to guess, I would guess that's Griffin Davis warming up for the Stallions. Looks like a single-digit player, and he would be the only single-digit
Pitcher.
pitcher.
Out there. Okay.
I believe that is number 8, Griffin Davis, but righty warming up.
That one's in there for a strike. So good start here for Terwilliger as he tries to power his way through the top of the 6th inning. Pioneers would love to have that go for them as heading back across was E.J. Doskow. Not sure what
Picking up
happened
a
there.
foul ball or a rogue ball
Okay. As the line, the pitch,
outside.
just a little bit outside apparently. As I said, the pitchers have been getting that outside corner pretty liberally, except that one. As that one is thrown in and in there for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Crossing, I do believe, will really have to work to get a 3rd straight walk in the ball game. Pretty sure that streak may come to an end right here.
I believe it will, hopefully.
Terwilliger winds. He deals swinging strike as down goes Blake Crossing. The line goes down in order, and the Pioneers will head back to the batter's box for the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to the Pioneers on Mixlr.com. All right, and we are back here live from historic Dunn Field as we've got a new pitcher, George.
We do. That's Griffin Davis, number 8, the righty out of Georgia Southern and Statesboro, Georgia.
So Davis, who comes into the game, he's got a 2.70 ERA, 1 win, 1 loss in 3 appearances, 6.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, and a base on balls. Does, however, perhaps more impressively, 11 strikeouts.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. That's good numbers right there.
That's pretty good. And the numbers for the last pitcher up there, Connor Fenlong, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, a walk and a strikeout, and close out his line.
Well, the Pioneers will look to change things up a little bit here as the first batter to come up will be Mason Ruhlman. I do believe.
Nope, Redding.
Redding, I'm sorry about that.
Ruhlman grounded out his last time up.
My apologies.
I got it in pen,
You
so let it be written, so let it be done.
So it is Cam Redding. My apologies to Mason Ruhlman. Although I'm sure he would love to have that
I'm sure
to do over again.
Redding had that sharp line out to second base his last time up.
He
also
did. He
walked.
also did walk in the game as well. He'll be looking to get things going. Here for the Pioneers in the bottom of the 6th. And George, I'm sorry, I'm moving into it. 9 defensive outs away from a victory.
It'll be on you.
It could be. So far, though, when you and I are in the booth, when we talk about defensive outs,
Doing
2 for
pretty
2.
Good.
2 for 2.
Pretty good when I've been here.
We are
outside of
pretty
that
good.
Stallions game.
Yeah, which doesn't make me very comfortable with the
Nope.
Stallions up there in the field right now.
They made that late comeback for last time here, and they're here tomorrow for a 4:05 game.
They are. And you'll be right back with me. And then,
I
George,
will.
Wednesday this week, I will not be here, and you will be.
I will be.
So that game will be only broadcast on YouTube Live. We want to thank all of our amazing listeners on Mixler.com. We will not have Mixler.com access on Wednesday, but we will be live on YouTube.com. You'll be able to watch the fun and excitement here live alongside my good friend, George Stockberger.
Yeah. Well, baseball news. Edwin Encarnacion to the Yankees. Need a new DH.
It's an interesting move.
Yeah.
As now Cam Redding stepping back in. See, as he greets the new pitcher. The line, the pitch.
Just a bit outside.
All right, so 1-0. This game has certainly moved right along, George.
It has. Very pleasantly.
Haven't seen
Knock
a lot
on
of that
wood.
this season, as it is a fireworks night, so the little ones must be happy, as we haven't even reached the 9 o'clock hour. The line, the pitch, and Redding with a big swing, 1-1.
And it's almost hot dog time.
It just about should
You
be.
would hope. Again, if we say it, it will happen.
It will occur. So the Pioneers put up a 0 in their last time up at the dish. Of course, the 3rd and 4th inning, they tallied a run in each. Would love to add some insurance. As Redding connects on that one, hits down the foul line, and it's going to get down into the Pioneers bullpen area.
Just out of reach of the pitcher out there. Again, believe that was number 7 who's warming up for the Pioneers.
Connor Takis.
Connor Takis. So a couple Connors will make their appearance in this game.
They will. As once again, Redding steps back into the dish. As again, coming set. Robbie Nichols peeking in. How are you doing, sir? The windup and the pitch. Connected on there by Redding. Hits right back at the pitcher, and he stops, picks it up, and throws over to first. 1 out very quickly here.
Did Robbie Nichols bring us food? Again, you say it happens. People are listening.
Very true. As Nathan Berg, the shortstop, steps back in. 0 for 2 on the night, fielder's choice. And reaching on that pass ball strikeout. That was certainly impressive.
It was, but he got stranded on third his last time out there.
He did. So unfortunate for the
Not
Pioneers.
as impressive. But you had that beautiful unassisted double play.
As the pitch in there for a strike, I believe.
Yep.
That one did get held up. 0-1 the count. No balls. 1 strike. 1 out. Coming back set. The wind and delivery. Inside. 1 ball. 1 strike. 1 out. Another Tioga Down showdown. As the
Go to the buffet.
again, go to the buffet.
Oh, that mosquito
Not a bad
has
spot.
gotten away from that spider web it got caught in. I don't know where it went.
Me either. I haven't
I
seen
don't
it.
like that.
This once again, the wine, the pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out.
I thought you got all the spider webs, John.
I did. They just build new ones. What can I say? As we're here, 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out.
We haven't needed the fan either.
Haven't. It's been pleasantly
It's been
nice
nice.
here at historic Dunfield. The wind and the pitch. Big swing there and strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Yeah, a nice little cool breeze.
Pitcher getting the fan work there.
Yeah.
As once again, stepping back in, Nathan Berg. Berg, we talked about it earlier, quarterback for 3 seasons, as well as 2 letters in ice hockey. The wind, the pitch, and outside, according to the umpire, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count here, George.
Yeah, not too many of those tonight. I think we only had 2 or 3.
We have. As now, once again, Griffin Davis.
I thought that was a question we have. I was like, yep, pretty sure.
Griffin Davis comes set. He winds, delivers, and gets punched
Ooh.
out, does Nathan Berg, and that one unfortunately doesn't skip by the catcher. So Berg will strike out. As that'll bring up Trey Harmon, the number 4 first baseman in the country. Was a top 150 impact freshman entering the season. See what he can do here. Harmon stepping back in the box.
Stranded on second his last time out. We have an unassisted double play. Actually, he was probably at third out.
He was, and he was hit by a pitch to get there, too. As that's in there for a strike, 0-1. So once again, stepping back in. This is Harmon. Taps the plate and looks out towards the pitcher. Comes set. He winds and deals. Harmon takes that one for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Pioneers just 9 defensive outs away from claiming victory here over the Saugerties Stallions in the first of a 2-game series homestand. The wind, the pitch, bounces down, and that will be 2 balls. 1 strike, 2 outs, as Trey Harmon continues to show a real good eye. So stepping back in is Harmon. A lot of emotion
Yeah.
in the box next to us. As again,
Hopefully that's my food coming in.
Harmon comes set. He waits. As the pitcher Davis comes back set, he winds and deals. Harmon swinging that one up and towards the booth.
Talk about a lot of movement. Gotta have some scattering next door.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, another Tioga Down showdown.
That's if I had to place a bet, I wouldn't have expected that many balls to come back up here, but I'll have to go Tioga Downs to
Put the
those
money on
in.
it, just like that St. Louis Blues fan.
Yeah.
Won quite a bit of money there.
Won $100,000, something like that.
$100,000. Not a bad trade-off.
Nope.
As Harmon waits. The pitch is in there for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, another full count. And
Back to
Georgia back-to-back here after not too many throughout the night.
No.
So Harmon stepping back in. We've talked about how good his eye has been this season. Would love to see him get something here he can do something with. The wind, the pitch, inside, ball 4. Harmon takes a trip down to first base and walks for the first time that he wasn't hit by the ball.
Good 2-out walk there.
That'll bring up Brennan Derigi. Derigi 1 for 2 on the night with an RBI. So Derigi with an RBI already. Again, we talk about the heavy left-handed sets here in the Pioneers lineup.
No batting gloves tonight for him. Interesting move.
As again, Davis working out the stretch for the first time. The pitch, big swing there by Derigi. He's looking to get his hands on something. Possibly thought the batting gloves were cutting down the aerodynamicness of the swing.
Possibly.
That's logical.
A lot of smart guys on this team.
Very smart. As once again, the wind and the pitch in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
I'm talking about all these guys who are majoring in, economics and banking and sciencey stuff that I don't understand. A lot of those guys.
No balls, 2 strikes. Derigi looking to stay alive here. Trey Harmon stands on first. The wind, the pitch. Derigi connects back up and hits the roof.
Yep.
As now we remind you again to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass.
Yes.
As Derigi steps back in, he's wanting to waste no time. He thinks he's got a good sight on this ball. He must have figured something out from Griffin Davis, as he certainly played defensively there to keep the at-bat alive. The wind, the pitch, connected on by Derigi, bounced towards third base. That's going to be fair. Thrown over to first and in time. So Derigi goes down, moving himself to 1 for 3 on the night. And the Pioneers will head back to the field, and I do believe we will have a no, hold on. Matt Birch runs right back towards the dugout. It would appear, yes. All right, headed back to the mound for the 7th inning. We are going to see the pitcher, Ben Terwilliger, take a stab at doing things up here in the 7th. We'll be right back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, EJ Doskow heads back to the plate. The first baseman, George, the numbers don't lie.
No.
Doskow 0 for 2 on the night. And I'll tell you, it's pretty much par for the course here on this evening for the Saugerties Stallions. They have not been able to match up with Terwilliger, and Terwilliger is going to get to go through the start of a 7th inning at the very least, as he throws ball number 1. We talked about pitch count. Certainly hasn't been extraordinarily high.
No, and again, he had a quick 1, 2, 3 innings last time out there, so that certainly helped.
In there for a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. As we'll see once again, maybe Terwilliger can rush his way through this. As the wind, the pitch, that one is in there. Oh, umpire calls it a strike, so 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. As once again, Doskow certainly feeling the pressure here. He's 0 for 2 on the night. 1 and 2 the count. The umpire holds up his fingers as Ben Terwilliger looking to extend himself another inning here. That one is in there for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. George, your knees even buckled on that one. As the Pioneers have a 2-0 lead, they're looking to cut down the number of outs needed to 8. The wind up and the pitch. Cut on, hit out to center field, and he's having to chase that one down. Caught by the center fielder. Doskow 0 for 3 on the night. That'll bring up Nolan Ledford. Ledford 0 for 2 with a strikeout here tonight.
1 of 8 strikeouts tonight for Terwilliger, so again, an excellent outing for him thus far.
As Terwilliger tries to make it through 6 2/3 now. As the Pioneers, I'll tell you what, it's been a great performance from a local kid getting the chance to pitch in his hometown. You can't beat it. The windup and the pitch. A little low, apparently. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. George, as again, Terwilliger trying to do something no Pioneer has done this season, pitched through 7 full as he throws the second ball. 2-0 the count. Takis still down there in the bullpen area. The pitch, that one gets in there. 2 balls, 1 strike. as the windup and the pitch from Terwilliger. He winds, deals, and catches the corner again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As again, Terwilliger comes set. Takis, the University of Albany prospect, is still down there in the pen. The wind, the pitch, high, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and I can't tell you the number of players that have gone after that pitch here tonight, George.
Again, maybe been attacking that high fastball. It's worked for him. See if he goes back to it here.
Terwilliger winds and deals. Cut on down the first base line, and that is foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Heading back out to the mound, Terwilliger. Taking his time, maybe a little bit more deliberate here. So, Terwilliger gets the sign. He winds and deals. And cut on and gets the strikeout, as that is number 9 on the day for Terwilliger. His second against Ledford, and that will bring up Max Cotier.
He's had a pretty good night. The walk, the base hit, a stolen base. He's been stranded in scoring position both times up.
Certainly has.
So let's hope he doesn't get into scoring position. If he does, let's hope he gets stranded again.
Hope Terwilliger can keep him off base, as now the Pioneers just 7 outs away from closing the book on this one.
A much-needed win it would be.
As that is in there for a strike. Redding had to hold up a little bit there as he threw over the head of Cotier. 0-1. Thrown. Big swing there. 0-2.
Not too much. Again, that pitcher's still out there, but he's not really warming up. He's just kind of tossing the ball back and forth short distance, keeping the arm loose.
Well, by this point, he must be fully warmed and ready to go.
He's thrown 2 innings already in the pen.
As Terwilliger looks to work himself out of the 7th. And he does! Struck out Cotier. And that will bring an end to the top of the 7th with his 10th strikeout of the game. I would be hard-pressed to figure we'll see Terwilliger again in the top of the 8th. But I'll tell you what, a game to remember. You're listening to the Pioneers on Mixer.com and watching us live on YouTube. All right, and with that, we are back live. George, Ben Terwilliger, what do you say?
Again, it's an excellent start, probably one of the better starts we've seen out of a Pioneers pitcher. So far, 7 shutout innings, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, a couple of walks. But again, we were talking about they've had the guy warming up in the bullpen. No one's out there tossing right now, so you wonder, does he go back out there for the 8th?
It's going to be an interesting decision as Andrew Sexton leads us back off here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Not a great night for him.
No, it hasn't been, but you know what? 0 for 3, he's got a strikeout. He's grounded into a double play, an unassisted double play. But again, we'll see what the Pioneers can do here. The pitch is high, 1 ball, no strikes. Continues to be the pitcher Griffin Davis out there.
Yep.
So we saw 1 inning and done for the first Saugerties pitcher.
No one up in their bullpen.
The line, the pitch, connected on right back towards us here, George, as this gets over the top of the broadcast booth and reminds you to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass. As once again, 1 ball, 1 strike count. here on Sexton.
And the rain continues to pick up. It's been on and off all night, John.
Been an interesting way to deal with the field here tonight, as the rain has certainly played a factor. That one there for a ball, I believe, according to the umpire.
It got pretty close to the umpire's foot, and I think he was a little unhappy about it.
Certainly seems to be, as he made a move towards the first base umpire. I believe we're at 2 balls, 1 strike count. As now the pitch coming in. Delivery. Big swing there by Sexton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sexton, a recent arrival here for the summer. Hasn't had a ton of at-bats, but certainly has taken over that spot at the top of the order. As the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed by Sexton. So that's his second strikeout of the day. 0 for 4 as Jeff Mejia heads up. Mejia 1 for 2, base on balls and a strikeout. Mejia heading up towards the base.
He scored the first run of the game for the Pios.
Certainly did off the Preston Moore RBI.
And
Of course, there were a couple
pitches.
pass balls to get him there, but he did get there and get around. As once again, Mejia is stepping back in, and again, we see that cavalcade of left-handed batters. The wind, the pitch, in there for strike number 1, 0-1.
Yeah, a little chilly up here, too, now. that breeze starting to come in. We would have liked that the other day when it was very, very hot out.
For certain. 0 for 1 here for Mejia. No balls, 1 strike. The wind, the pitch. That's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and another Tioga Down showdown.
Bit of a crab buffet.
Certainly. Crab buffet every Thursday. Not a bad spot to hit.
I heard a door. I hope
another door.
I heard. I'm hoping that's a hot dog, but we'll see.
Big swing there and a miss for Jeff Mejia.
He also had that nice catch on left field with the his back to the wall.
Certainly did.
Almost a home run out there earlier in the game.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Pioneers 6 defensive outs away as the catcher calls time.
Got some dirt in his eye.
Uncomfortable, to say the least. As his pitcher stomping his cleats out there. We saw the third baseman having some issues with the dirt earlier.
He's still wearing those sunglasses.
Certainly is, as once again, the umpire now will dust off home plate here.
Well, you don't want to. The guy already has dirt in his eyes. Why are you kicking up more dirt?
Interesting reasoning there,
Not
George.
great thinking.
Oh, yeah, hold on. He's not going to dust it off. He's just trying to kick the plate.
Yeah,
get it to show up a little better.
That lefty warming up in the Pioneers bullpen.
So again, we'll see what comes of that. The Pioneers have to be a little gun shy about the bullpen. With a 2-0 lead here, Mejia waiting. The delivery bounces up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on Jeff Mejia. And the Vuvenzelas back out in Dunfield.
In full force.
Certainly are. So, again, the pitcher heads back out, looking for a way to get rid of Mejia, who has certainly been a sticking point here today. Griffin Davis comes set, he winds and delivers. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Davis has, for the most part of the day, we've not seen a lot of full counts, and Griffin Davis has certainly been bombarded with them here.
He's got 3 so far.
In just 1 1/3.
He had a walk and a strikeout those last times.
So we'll see as Mejia waits. He connects on one that goes foul. So we do it again.
Picnic area. We see a scattering of fans.
And we remind you, the next time you're looking for a quality group outing, hit up our picnic area. Call 607-734-2690 for more details. As coming back set, Griffin Davis looking in. Jeff Mejia trying to battle his way through here. The windup and the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Mejia heads to first base for his second walk of the night. That'll bring up Preston Moore, who's reached on a fielder's choice, walked, and driven in Jeff Mejia. once again, Moore steps back into the batter's box. Interesting thought process here on the bombardment of lefties. Certainly is a process that they have taken very serious consideration into when assembling the lineup. You don't see a ton of lefties back to back to back. Could be spread out even a little more. Move more up to second. Have Mejia bat third as that one's inside. No. I got a strike call there. Thought that was inside, but
I did as well.
umpire says no. So, Pioneers with a 2-0 lead. Pretty close to perfect night for Ben Terwilliger.
Yep.
The throw over to first. Mejia is back in time. Again, with the weather issues, you would think you would see a little bit more movement here from the two sides on the base path, but really, George, we have not seen very much at all.
No, we had one stolen base earlier.
That was
That's
from
it.
the Stallions.
Yep.
That pitch is in there for a strike. No balls. 2 strikes here on Preston Moore. And don't forget, when this game wraps up, we will have a beautiful fireworks display down here in the beautiful area next to the river.
Down by the river.
Down by the river. As another throw over to first, not in time.
There is a van down by the river right now. As the pyrotechnic van.
As we remember fondly Matt Foley, or Chris Farley, as you may know him. The wind, the pitch, and that's going to be a punch out. I was pretty sure of that, but I'm
Never too
very
short
deliberate with with the punch out call. So, fielder's choice, base on balls, and a strikeout. Interesting night for Preston Moore. As Garrett Schultz heads up 0 for 2, does have a base on balls. He heads back to the plate. Going to be looking to push Mejia at least up a couple of bases here. Would love to get that insurance run home for the Pioneers. Moore waiting. The delivery is in there for a strike. 0-1. Again, we've talked about that outside pitch really taking hold.
It's been close, but they've worked it fairly well tonight.
And it's been consistent. The one thing you ask for is consistency, and they have certainly had it. As there goes Mejia, as the ball bounces, and Mejia's going to get a stolen base on the night. So good on Jeff Mejia.
Now you hope a base hit as the outfielders kind of move in, just now they're moving back out.
So Mejia
try to play some no doubles defense right here.
That is his 4th stolen base of the year, George. Interesting little stat.
Nice. The bugs have
dropped the paperwork.
I'm trying to get the bugs off my paperwork.
Schultz waiting. 1-1 count. Was interesting to watch Mejia steal there, as that one is high and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mejia almost boxed himself up there before taking off. Kind of an interesting pose. Certainly something to watch out for if you're a pitcher.
Yeah.
If Mejia moves into that boxing sort of, you won't want to call it squaring up, but really that's pretty fair. As once again, Pioneers, runner in scoring position. Preston Moore up with Garrett Schultz up with 2 outs. Schultz waiting. The windup and the pitch. High again. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Schultz has Mejia still standing on second base.
Again, a little surprised. No one up in the bullpen, and we talked about the pitch counts for pitchers in this league. Again, a lot of full counts here from Davis.
The windup and the pitch. High, ball 4. Now runners stand on first and second as Schultz walks for the second time tonight, and that will bring up Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman 1 for 3. The one, though, a very impressive triple off that outfield wall. Would love to add another one of those to his tally. Would drive in both runs. Standing on first and second base right now. See what he can do. As once again, pitcher comes set. Davis still in control of this inning. He's got that one for a strike. 0-1 count. Pioneers leading 2-0 as they look to get through the bottom of the 7th here and keep the lead and hopefully extend it with a runner on first and second, though 2 outs. Ruhlman at the dish. The wind, the pitch, and taken 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Number 13 now sprinting to the bullpen for the Stallions. Sprinting like a stallion out there.
That's Henry Funaro. So he may be
Just trying
called
to get
on
loose.
shortly. Talked about short leashes. The wind, the pitch, and Ruhlman fouls one back. Back up into the stands here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ruhlman would love to get his bat on something and put it a long way into the outfield. Any gap would do. As he was trying to get out of here. We'll see what he can do here. This is the 5th batter in the lineup. Pioneers' 4th trip around the order. The pitch. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And George, that brings us to another.
Tioga down, showdown.
That's the truth. Right here at historic Dunn Field. Pioneers have just 6 defensive outs to get. Mason Ruhlman trying to make it a little harder for Saugerties, as Saugerties has yet to put a run across the plate. And again, check on the runner at second. The line, the pitch. Big swing by Ruhlman, and he goes down on strikes. 1 for 4 on the day. Adds a strikeout to his repertoire. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. At the end of 7, Pioneers 2, Saugerties nothing. All right, and the Pioneers will head to the bullpen. And we all wait with bated breath. Connor Takis heads in. 1 win, 1 loss, 3 appearances, a 9.00 ERA in 7 innings pitched, 13 hits, 9 runs, 7 of them earned, 3 bases on balls, and 9 strikeouts. So we'll see what Takis can do here.
Again, Ben Terwilliger, an outstanding performance, one of the best starts that we've seen from the Pioneers pitcher this season. 7 innings of shutout ball, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Certainly wouldn't be upset with that.
Nope.
But now it comes down to the bullpen. And you would have to assume that Takis will be carefully monitored.
Anyone up in the...
No one down there yet. I would have to think Neftali Severino Cronier will be a short phone call away if anything starts to go south. Neftali had an amazing 4 innings there in Mohawk Valley, and just perfect, and maybe perfectly shaped to be a closer here in the PGCBL.
And the rain does continue to fall as well.
It does. Hasn't had
very lightly
any effect towards a stoppage, but the rain has continued to fall here at historic Dunn Field. So we will see what happens here as Nolan Hester heads back to the plate. Just the 4th time through the order for the Saugerties Stallions. Hester, 1 for 3, does have a strikeout on the night, as Takis will be looking to bowl through the 8th inning, put up a 0.
Little lefty on lefty action here.
Takis
Change
comes
it up a
set.
little.
He winds and deals. High, 1 ball, no strikes. So, Pioneers looking to get something out of the bullpen. I'll tell you what, George, it's been tough when the bullpens come into games. It just has really fallen apart for the Pioneers this season.
Again, when you look at some of the recent games they played, it's been fairly close. They've been within those 2 or 3 runs by a little error, margin for error. But again, the 2 runs, you hope is enough as that one's bowed off into the seats to our left.
1 ball, 1 strike. Takis heads out to the mound. And again, you wonder, Terwilliger pitching as securely as he was. You have to imagine Matt Birch debated that one quite a bit.
Yeah, and again, we don't have the full pitch count, but that certainly plays into it for the coaching staff.
Of course. 2 balls, 1 strike as that one hits the dirt. Takis looking for some confidence here right into the game. Takis steps back on the mound. He looks in at the leadoff hitter, Nolan Hester. As the Pioneers have been very effective shutting down the Saugerties Stallions. That one in there for ball 3. And I don't know, that was close to where they've been getting it all night.
It wasn't a great frame job there by
Redding.
Had to kind of reach out there for it.
So we'll see. Takis takes a deep breath, comes set, delivers, and that one is fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. First full count of the game for Takis. Takis stepping back on the mound.
Big hole up the middle there behind him.
He looks down and comes set, delivers, swinging strike 3. Picked up and tags out the center field. Puts him 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts on the night. That'll bring up Fritz Genther.
And that's 11 strikeouts for Pioneers pitching. Again, mowing them down.
Genther 0 for 3. Does have 2 strikeouts on the night himself.
Yep.
And now it'll be lefty on righty action here as Takis heads back out. So he gets through the first batter.
No one out there.
No one in the pen.
No, Stallions still have their righty warm up.
Takis comes set. He winds, delivers, puts it in the opposite side batter's box, 1-0. So you got to feel good if you're Connor Takis coming in and getting that first out. Has to find a way to get through at least 2 more, as this appears to be his inning. Fouled back, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And George, that brings us to another Tiger Downs
showdown.
There it is. As once again, Fritz Genther. And some compliments towards the Excellus Bat Boy, who just picked up the ball there. So the wind from Takis begins the delivery, and in there for a strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Takis 1 pitch away from getting the second out of the ball game. As we're here in the top of the 8th, Pioneers would love to only have to bat 1 more time, as they have a 2-0 lead. Pitch bounces by Redding. Couldn't quite make the scoop on that one, and we have a 2-2 and 1 out count.
A lot of room out there for the little legs of the bat boy to run. A lot of room back there.
As again, Connor Takis comes set. He looks in. Comes set, winds, deals, and high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, another full count. 2 batters, 2 full counts, George.
Not good.
As Takis having to expend a lot of pitches. See what he can do here. Takis comes set. He winds, delivers, cut on, hit towards left. That's going to get down. And that will put Connor Takis on first. He rounds and took a big loop there.
That's a big turn there. He got about a quarter of the way down the line.
So, Genther getting on for the first time tonight. He goes 1 for 4. And that brings up Jake Skrine. He's 0 for 3 on the night.
Yeah,
All
he
of
is.
those at bats coming up against Terwilliger.
Couple grounds out. It's in that, I believe that was that long fly out to left field earlier.
It was, as now Takis is going to be hoping to get him to ground out yet again, as Gunther, first time on base tonight. Not a huge lead over there.
No.
The pitch, and fakes the throw back to first, did Redding. That one was in there for ball 1, though.
Not as big as his helmet over there. Again, another large batting helmet.
Quite interesting to see those. They're continuing to show up here in this game. A little confused as it would almost obscure the vision, you would think. As you see how you see the ear hole and then you look at the cut of the helmet. I perhaps I'm wrong, George, but looking at that, to me, that would obscure my vision.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the greatest design.
As the wind and pitch fouled down and almost took the first base coach's head off. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown. As we'll see what the Pioneers pitching staff can do here. Jack Skrine, 0 for 3. You mentioned before a couple groundouts.
A long, long fly out.
Takis would love to get a ground out here. Although it would appear that Genther is hot to trot. That went in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nice breaking ball there.
Some argument there from the guy in the batter's box, and I'm sure the home plate umpire won't take a lot of that. So, once again, Pioneers lead 2-0 here in the top of the 8th. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on first as Connor Takis coming in. Throws over to first and a little stumble there by the runner. Again, Fritz Genther's first time on base here this season. Pioneers trying to bring themselves back from a 4-game losing streak. They've got a 2-game set against these Stallions here today and tomorrow. The wind, the pitch, high, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, as they seem very uncomfortable about Genther over there on first base, George.
Yeah, they do.
Couple of checks, pitch out there. A little more of a pitch out than a ball. As you saw Redding stand up and look directly down to first base. This one thrown and low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So the 3rd straight full count for Takis. As once again, looking down towards that empty bullpen on the Pioneer side of the field.
It remains empty.
Takis coming set. Takes a breath, winds, delivers. High, walks the next batter, as now Skrine will take a walk, and that will bring up Tyler Kelder. We talked about him very early in the broadcast. Best average on the team coming into today. Also has 3 home runs. So,
still no movement out there.
So
this is his inning.
Reason why Kelder sits in the number 4 slot in the lineup, George. As we'll see what he can do. As I said, highest average on the team. Everybody playing back, double play positioning. Hit right towards the second baseman. Mason Ruhlman has that one get by him, and this is going to bring around a run to score. Overplayed by the center fielder, thrown back in, puts runners at the corner, and now on first and third, after the single from Kelder.
Again, we talked about the dangers of the bullpen and kind of a ghost of the last time the Stallions were here, where they had that late comeback and 1 by 1, and now you got the tying run over at third base.
So Matt Birch heading out to the mound. Runners at the corners, the tying run 90 feet from home plate. And Matt Birch has got to be scratching his head. What do I need to do here? Still nobody making the trot down towards the bullpen, however.
I saw someone move, but I don't know if that was a pitcher warming up.
So still nothing going on down that way. Matt Birch trying to calm down his reliever. Connor Takis will remain in this one here. Still talking with Cam Redding as Matt Birch looking over his lineup card, trying to figure something out.
You need one ground ball. That's all you need.
2-1. He just had a ground ball there. Unfortunately, it skittered by Mason Roman at second base. Roman dove for it, just couldn't come up with it. As again, that'll bring up Dylan LaFrere. Hit foul there, 0-1.
That one's in the bullpen. The only thing in the bullpen right now.
So, a foul ball. Sits down in the Pioneers bullpen.
Look for a golden sombrero here. He's already got those 3 strikeouts. Love to see one here.
Pioneers
not on a full
desperately
count.
seeking one. As that one is chopped towards first base, thrown to home, and the tag is, oh no, it's not in time. So no out is made, and the Pioneers are now in a tie ball game.
That's a tough. The throw was there. It was the tag that must have been a little bit late. It was the right play. Again, a slow ground ball over to the first baseman. You don't have time to attempt a double play, and those 3-5-3 double plays are so tough. You try to get that runner out at home. And again, the bullpen continuing to be a source of stress for the Pios.
As now Takis throws low, 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, 2 runs have scored here in the top of the 8th. Pioneers now sit in a tie ball game, still 2 runners on with just 1 out.
No one moving out by that pen.
So Takis continues to remain in control here. The wind and the pitch in low again, 2 balls, no strikes. So this Elmira Pioneers lineup has again turned over a lead late. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 runs for the visiting Saugerties Stallions. The wind, the pitch, connected on, ground ball again, hit towards the shortstop. It's grabbed there, but the bases are loaded as another hit is gotten through.
I mean,
this time
4 singles and a walk.
EJ Doskow comes up 0 for 3 on the day.
And no movement to our right in the bullpen.
Doskow could lay down a bunt here. Try the suicide squeeze, although both corners looking exactly for that play.
I'd say they're both feet are fully in the grass now for at first and third baseman.
As Cam Redding looking out towards his pitcher. Again, the Pioneers looking for answers. The bullpen has been, well, less than effective, to say the least.
To say the least.
As we'll see, EJ Doskow coming in 0 for 3 on the night. The wind, the pitch, inside, 1-0. So Takis just has not found any sort of rhythm here.
Nope. And again, some of these guys he's faced, again, we talked about LaFerry having 3 strikeouts already. You know, he's not facing the best of the best in his lineup right now, and he's giving up these hits.
2-0 count as he throws another one into the left-handed batter's box. Takis looking in. You know he'd give just about anything for a ground ball here. That one's in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out still remains. Pioneers just trying to get out of this top half of the 8th. Hopefully can put something together in the bottom half. Takis comes set. He winds, delivers. And low, 3 balls, 1 strike. And it's getting hairy now.
Got hairy about 5 batters ago, and they still didn't throw anyone out there.
Accurate. The ground balls that have come here have been very difficult situations. As the windup and the pitch is connected on past the third baseman. This is going to score 1, and a second runner coming around. He will score as well, and the Saugerties Stallions have taken a 4-2 lead here at historic Dunn Field. Pioneers, I'm not sure what the answer is here, folks, but and here comes,
Number 8.
I believe we're going to see Derigi come out. That'll put Henneman at first.
So who's
Out of the game will come Takis. In to play, I believe, the shortstop, moving to the pitcher's mound now. As we talked about before, shortstop Nathan Berg is both an infielder and a pitcher. However, I believe they'll also need a shortstop now, as they.
You would think so. Zer was scratched in the pregame, so you don't know if he's coming back out. Someone's coming out right now.
Did look like Henneman was going to take over first, and heading out is
Number 23.
23. So Derigi. Why is Derigi heading back out?
I don't know.
Derigi.
But that is Berg throwing the.
I believe Derigi's headed for maybe third, and they're going to move Preston Moore over. So let's see how this shakes out. Derigi talking. So I believe that's accurate there. I think this is what we're going to see here. Not exactly a trip to the bullpen, but the designated hitter will come out of the game as the pitcher moves into the batting order.
Well, that's something.
Nathan Berg will pitch now.
And so, again, you talked about the outstanding performance that Terwilliger had through 7 3-hit shutout innings. And then you give up 4 runs in relief in just 1/3 of an inning.
So not the appearance Connor Takis was hoping to make.
Outside of one strikeout,
You got to say
nothing.
again, Matt Birch has just got to be scratching his head. I mean, he's put a lot of time into recruiting these guys. Yes, the first year of college is certainly tougher than the final year of high school, and not a lot of them got a lot of playing time, but he's put together a lineup that he is certain can take this team deep into a postseason. Right now, the fortune has not been on their side as they now trail 4-2 in a game in which the inning started. They had a 2-0 lead.
Again, 5 hits, a walk, and so far 4 runs.
And still runners on first and
still
second.
runners on. You hope it's only 4.
The pitch in there for a strike. So good start to the at-bat here by Nathan Berg.
Not too often you see back-to-back pitchers with single digit.
No.
7, then
that
6.
It's peculiar to say the least. Another swinging strike there. 0-2 the count. So Berg gets out quickly. See if he can move this along.
It's come to a grinding halt for the Pioneers.
As here comes the scoreboard has it 1-1, although the umpire just held up the 0-2 count. So checking the runner, the line, the pitch is low. Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. As again, Pioneers trying to claw their way out of the 8th inning. We talked about it earlier in the game, George. Saugerties comeback win before, swinging strike, and that will do it. So, second out of the inning, as down goes Ledford. His 3rd strikeout of the game, George.
Again, we were on a Golden Sombrero watch earlier. Hopefully he doesn't have the opportunity to come in later.
As Cotier heads back up.
You mentioned that Stallions game earlier this year where the Pioneers lost 6-5. Pioneers were up 3-0 going into the 7th, and then 3 runs, 2 runs, and then another run in the 9th for the Stallions after the Pios came back in the 7th.
Well, they'll certainly need to do so here in the bottom of the 8th, trailing now by a pair. Although you wonder how demoralizing it is for the Pioneers, who also have not had a hit since back in the 4th inning. The pitch in there for a strike, 1-1.
So Berg, the numbers on him, a fastball marked 88-92, A curveball in the low 70s, a changeup in the high 70s, and a slider in the high 70s up to 77.
That one's cut on, and strike 2 is fouled back and into the parking lot. Make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass.
Top 1,000 player for the 2018 Perfect Game. Number 5 right-hander coming out of the state of Minnesota. Also a former quarterback and hockey players we've said a couple times.
The line, the pitch, and fouled away again there as Max Cotier keeping himself alive. You wonder, George, as the pitchers come in, you see a lot of players who played both quarterback and pitcher.
Mm-hmm. I think Patrick Mahomes
You do.
was a former pitcher. His dad was a former major league player.
The line, the pitch, and cut on,
So
and
you do
hit
see it
towards
a
left
lot.
field. As this one is diving catch and a beauty there as the Pioneers will get out of the inning. That was a big one. Cotier goes to 1 for 3, and the Pioneers will go back towards the batter's box, and hopefully they can supplement that beautiful dive by Mejia and get themselves back into this game. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, and with that, we are back. George, we we talked about the struggles of the Pioneers bullpen so far this season, and, well, there's a bird's eye view of it right there.
Again, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 2 guys left on base before your infielder had to come in and put them away.
And he did, too. I mean, Nathan Berg, Nathan Berg, what a performance to come in and stop the bleeding. Of course, runners were still on.
No one warming up in the bullpen.
Still no one out there. As Cam Redding is going to have to lead off this bottom half of the 8th, which just got a lot more critical. Trailing by 2 runs, you went from needing just 6 outs to claim a victory to now needing to score a couple of runs. If the Pioneers can put 3 runs up on the board here in this bottom half of the 8th, they could go back to the top of the 9th and still potentially close it out. However, it's not going to be an easy route.
Not easy. And again, you're talking about a team that has lost 9 of its last 10. And again, they have a great 2-0 start to the season, but since then, it's been a tough slide.
Problems have mounted. Cam Redding stepping back into the batter's box. The line, the pitch, and in there for ball 1. A little bit low.
Yep.
1-0 count. Redding desperately needs to get something started here. The bottom of the lineup coming up. Redding, then the pitcher Berg. Then it will be Henneman and Derigi. So 2 balls, no strikes to start things off here.
No one in either bullpen.
As again, Redding waits. The pitch. Cut on by Redding, and 2 balls, 1 strike. So, Pioneers trying to get a spark. Anything will do. Redding heads back into the box. He looks out. The line, the pitch. In there for ball 3. As I apologize, fans, we neglected to mention the new pitcher, Henry Finaro, coming out of the bullpen. So Finaro is in there. 3-1 count. He comes set, winds, and delivers. As that is ball 4 and has gotten away. Cam Redding hurrying his way down, trying to get around as he loops first, but will stay put. Finaro has no ERA, 0.00. 3 games have played, 2 saves, 3.1 innings pitched, 2 bases on balls, now make it 3, 6 strikeouts. He's faced just 13 batters. So Finaro has been fantastic, if you excuse the pun.
Yep. I was trying to find a way to do it, but you did it.
Nathan Berg, well, he started off the day playing shortstop. Now he's pitching as he takes strike 1. 0 for 3 on the day. He reached on a fielder's choice, reached on a pass ball when he struck out, and struck out. So, Berg getting a lot of support here from this crowd. He swings and fouls 1 away, 0-2. Redding is off the base at first. See what he can do. As Trey Harmon's day is done as a designated hitter, he comes out and won't be eligible to enter the game now. Next up will be Trevor Henneman.
Rogue baseball. No delay.
No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner on first base, and an imperative to move him over here, you would think. As again, not sure where the umpire got off to. Oh, there he is.
He's
back there.
Yep. We had a rogue baseball we had to go get.
So the wind and the pitch from Finaro connected on and fouled away back towards the parking lot area, George. Got to make that right decision.
And insist on Gerber collision.
0-2 remains the count. Nobody out. Runner on first.
Anyway, we'll do.
The wind, the pitch. Swung on and fouled away yet again.
Battling.
Got to give credit. Nobody on the Pioneers lineup gives up. And that has to be said for every single player. As once again, 0-2 count. Nathan Berg, the pitcher for the Pioneers now. Certainly a pitcher who can play at the plate as well. The pitch in, swung and missed. Berg will take a seat on the strikeout, his second of the night. And that will bring in Henneman. So Trevor Henneman stepping in for his first at-bat of the day as he took over at first base. See what he can do. We get to see that unique batting stance again, George.
Yep. Had me a little confused. I had Harmon. I was like, oh, nope, he came out.
Henneman batting $111 here in the early parts of the season. The wind, the pitch. Big swing there as Henneman tries to even it up with one swing of the bat. 0-1.
Probably not going to be able to do that again. It's light rain. A little too cool.
And a steep outfield wall out there in Dunn Field. So 0-1. The wind, the pitch. Connected on and foul. That one sounds like that got to the parking lot. So a reminder once again to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass. 0-2 the count. 1 out. Runner on first.
Still got an update bat sign out there, too. It still says Karuba.
It does, but we shall see. As 0-2 the count. Henneman comes set. He waits. The pitch delivered, and big swing and a strikeout. 2 consecutive back-to-back strikeouts as Henneman goes down. That'll bring up Brennan Dorigi. Dorigi 1 for 3. He's got an RBI already on the night. Would love to find a gap here. And Cam Redding would be off like
a firecracker, which we're going to see tonight.
Like firecrackers. There you go.
He's already got an RBI tonight. Pick up 1 or 2 more.
I was looking for a horse name, but that works.
Okay.
As that's in there for a strike.
Like Secretariat?
I was going to go Seabiscuit, but
Well.
it works either way.
Well, Secretariat at least won.
True. As once again, the windup, the pitch, outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. As once again, Finaro has been fantastic yet again.
Yep.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, despite the leadoff runner getting on. The windup and the pitch, cut on again, and Jarigi down 1-2. So, desperation time here for the Pioneers. Jarigi, of course, the 9th batter in the lineup. If he makes it out here, that means the bottom of the 9th would see the top 3 of the order. The wind, the pitch, swung on and missed. Jarigi heads back to the dugout. Pioneers go 1 for 4 as they're unable to move Redding from first. They will head back to the dugout. We will be back for the top of the 9th as the Pioneers continue to trail 4-2. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, fans, and we are back live here on Mixlr.com and on YouTube Live. Rough outing again for the bullpen,
To say the least.
and the Pioneers bats couldn't get going there in the bottom half. So that'll bring up Hester. He connects and fouls one away there. So we were just talking not too long ago as Saugerties was unable to get around the batting order. Now it's the 5th time around the batting order as the pitch inside there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Hester had the first out of the last inning.
He did.
But didn't work out too well after that.
No. As once again, umpire waving that pitch off. Everybody ready to go except for him.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike as the Pioneers looking to make quick work of the top half of the 9th and get themselves back into a position to bat yet again.
And we got the position player pitching too.
We do. As again, the windup and the pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As that outside corner is given one more time. Pioneers trailing 4-2. The pitch out way outside. Not going to get that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, so a full count. As again, Pioneers just trying to get themselves back in the batter's box. The pitch connected on, hit out there towards right. Backing up and makes the catch. So, 1 very quick out yet again as down goes Nolan Hester, 1 for 5. That'll bring up Fritz Genther. Genther, 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts on the night. Genther started off the drama here just an inning ago.
He was the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight guys who got on base.
So 1 out. Genther steps in. He looks. The line, the pitch, fouled away there by Fritz Genther. 0-1. Credit to Berg here. He's come in. He's been very disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played the field all night, but he really has come in and been effective on the mound. The line, the pitch. Inside and low. 1-1 the count. 1 out up on the board. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As we now have another Tioga Down showdown. Pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Berg looking to put up the second out of the inning.
Brazil is getting a little closer.
As it almost sounds as if it's coming from right next door.
Has a big swing and a miss there for another strikeout.
So a big strikeout there. As once again the Vuvuzela is out
migrated
in
up.
force.
It is migrated up to the booth.
So 1 for 5, Fritz Genther. Jack Skrine 0 for 3. Bases on balls have been plentiful as of late.
They're wild.
But Jake Skrine, again, 0 for 3 on the night. As we'll see what he can do here. The windup and the pitch connected on, popped up into foul territory, and not able to be chased down.
Nope.
As the Pioneers get their first strike, 0-1. So long, loud, and exciting, but unfortunately doesn't end up resulting in what the Pioneers hoped for.
Nope.
So 0-1 count. Pioneers hoping to get through this top half of the ninth. Pretty impressive, though, again, for Saugerties. 1 inning really doing the damage here. Big swinging strike, 0-2. We've said it again. Skrine 0-3 on the day. Has a base on balls.
Came around to scorers last time out there. One of many.
1 of 4. As once again, Berg will wind. He delivers. Cut on. Hit. And drops down and in. That's going to be a fair ball. Skrine trying to put it around and get himself to second. He's not going to get there. As he will score his first hit of the night. 1 for 4 with the base on balls. Tyler Kelder. Well, what more can
He's
be
had
said?
a decent night.
2 for 4, a double, an RBI.
Run scored.
He did score the run as well. We talked about his batting average being the best on the team. And,
He showed why.
he did show why. He's continued to be effective as the umpire looking towards the poor little bat boy. Little bat boy runs out and delivers some balls.
There you go.
So, wasn't
Delivered
sure.
a lot. There's only okay. There's
Wasn't
2 outs
sure.
in the inning.
Still have a bottom half to be played, and you're certain the Pioneers will be looking to get something done in the bottom half. Top of the order to come up once they get through the top of the ninth. The pitch inside, 1-0. Berg heads back out again. He kicks at the dirt. Certainly the rain
Not helping.
is not helping with the collection of dirt on the cleat. As he comes set, winds, deals, big swing there. And you see Kelder talking to himself as he knew he was about 10 feet ahead of that one.
Again, we said Berg has he's got some gas, as we saw in the scouting report earlier. Throwing him a low 90s. 88 to 92.
Pitch is grounded towards third base. Scooped up, thrown over, and in time. That'll do it for the top half of the ninth. We'll be back here. Kelder goes 2 for 5. You're listening to the Pioneers here on Mixler.com. Pioneers trail 4-2. All right, folks. So apologies to our great fans on Mixler.com who apparently had a technical issue and we experienced some silence. Finaro is going to come out, and you're sure he's going to be looking to
Finaro, this one.
have a that's a good one. Finaro, this one to the end, as now he will face the top of the order, Andrew Sexton, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, grounded into a double play, as Sexton will look to break through here. Pioneers trailing by just 2 runs here in the bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Big swing, as that's 0-1.
He's trying to cut that lead down to 1 with 1 swing.
He certainly is. As Sexton would love to just get on base. The wind, the pitch. In there for strike 2 looking. So Sexton has the 0-2 count. Not at all where he wanted to be right now. The wind, the pitch. Big swing and strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the night for Andrew Sexton. And that will bring up Jeff Mejia. Mejia 1 for 2, 2 base on balls. Struck out, stole a base. The rain certainly falling much faster out of the sky now.
Yep. But we still got the fireworks after.
We do.
Those will be fun.
The Pioneers 2 outs away from a 5th consecutive loss. Trying to keep things going. Fouled away by Mejia. Ball thrown down once again. Finaro trying to keep his ERA perfect. He's done a great job of it so far here, George.
He has.
As again, Mejia.
And no runs scored since the 4th for Elmira.
Mejia comes set. The pitch. Swing by Mejia is in there for strike 2. 0-2. Mejia comes back to the batter's box. Comes set. He looks in. Finaro gets set on the hill. He winds and deals in there and struck out Mejia looking. So 1 for 3 on the night goes Mejia. 2 strikeouts. And the fate of the Pioneers rests on Preston Moore.
Which, I mean, he's at least had a decent night. He's gotten on base 2 times. Had an RBI. Struck out looking his last time up.
He did. As now,
if you want someone tonight, it's going to be him.
Moore waits. The windup, the pitch. In there for a ball. A little bit high. 1-0. The rain continues to fall. Preston Moore looking out towards the pitcher's mound. The pitch is high. 2-0. So the pressure on Finaro now. As he's trying to put an end on a Saugerties comeback win in the 8th inning. Pioneers looking to stave off another loss. The pitch fouled away there by Moore. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As once again, Moore. The pressure on him. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And George, maybe the most important Tioga Downs showdown of the night. As Finaro comes set out there on the mound. He winds, sets, deals, and struck out Preston Moore. Moore goes 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts on the night for Moore. And the Pioneers have fallen for the 5th straight time. They go down 4-2 here after an 8th inning collapse. And George, we said it. It's all about the bullpen.
Well, I mean, you said it. An 8th inning collapse again by the bullpen. We talked about how great Terwilliger was out there, where he spun 7 3-hit shutout innings. Again, another rough one where we said right when the bullpen came in, you wondered what you're going to get, and
we
got
found
what
out
we were kind of
real quick.
expecting. So again, a tough night for the Pioneers. They got a little bit of offense earlier in this game. 1 run in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Again, Terwilliger with 10 strikeouts when he was out there as we get ready for some fireworks here at historic Dunn Field.
We're certainly hoping for some more fireworks. Here's bats. We didn't get them. We got back-to-back runs in the third and fourth inning, but nothing more. I'm John Clement.
I'm George Stockberger.
Good night, Elmira.